Warning! The Stone Age Gamer podcast includes a lot of bad language. Cover your motherfucking ears.
Quack, quack, bitches, and welcome to the Stone Age Gamer podcast. I'm Kris Randazzo, and joining me tonight is the best startup screen of all time, Dan Ryan.
I was going to tell a joke, but I can't follow quack, quack, bitches. That's that.
That's for the Discord. They'll get it.
Yeah.
It's time once again for the 10, 20, 30, 40, and we have got a doozy. Maybe not every year, but 1995 is freaking sick. How does the Super NES stand up against the launch of Sony's first system? Equip your junk shields because the Stone Age Gamer podcast starts now.
Lock in, chat. Ugh. Oh, that didn't feel good.
Junk shields.
Lock in junk shields. Can we call our chat that once we go live?
What's that?
Can we call them junk shields instead of chat?
Yes.
All right, junk shields.
What's up, junk shields? It's the week of September 26th, 2025, and welcome. For anyone new here, this is the official podcast of StoneAgeGamer.com. Dan and I talk every week about what's happening in the world of video games from a retro gamer's perspective, as well as whatever the hell else is going on in our lives. And speaking of which, how you doing, Dan?
Oh, I'm okay. So I was going to start with a joke that Penn wanted me to tell, so she didn't run down here. She still might run down here. That's like a new thing, and I have a stick to poke her with if she does. But the joke she wanted me to share was, what do you call an alien, like an outer space alien? This isn't politically charged or anything. What do you call an alien with 3 balls?
Good time?
I mean, other than that, obviously.
An extra testicle?
Oh, you're so close.
Extraterrestrial?
Yes, an extraterrestrial.
There it is.
She was so happy about that. And I thought it was quite funny.
Oh, speaking of aliens, Dan.
Oh, Jesus. Speaking of aliens. Nuts. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I'm excited.
I have seen the War of the Worlds, Dan.
Oh, which one?
Oh, the new one.
Oh, I haven't even seen the new one.
The 2025 War of the Worlds starring Ice Cube.
Oh, God. That sounds like... I didn't even know that existed.
Oh, man. So I found out about this thing not that long ago, like a month or so ago, when it came out. And I was like... And everyone was saying, this is quite possibly the worst movie anyone's ever made. And I'm thinking to myself, all right.
But I saw the first War of the Worlds.
This is internet hyperbole, and I saw the Tom Cruise War of the Worlds, which I hate with the fiery passion of 1,000 suns. So,
famously,
like, really, how bad could this be? But then I heard about what the movie was, and I thought, that can't be right. So I mentioned it to Paul of A Theater Near You, our movie podcast, and he was like, well, I have to see this. And so he did. And he described it as, and I just want to make sure I've got the words right. It's one of the most staggeringly awful things I've ever seen.
Wow.
And he's not wrong. It is staggeringly awful. It's not just because it's not just bad movie like it is that, right? It's very much bad movie. This is Ice Cube trying to act very dramatically and being Ice Cube. Right, because like he's just being Ice Cube, and a couple of like
he's not a great actor. I like him.
Yeah, he's a cool dude, but like
he's not a great actor.
He's Ice Cube, and then you've got his 2 kids, which are like these 20-something actors that are not very good. And the plot is terrible. The script is terrible. Like everything is bad about this. Everything's bad. But what takes it to the next level? What makes this more than just the shitty movie that you think it is.
Right.
It's that the entire movie is a Zoom call. Like, he works at, like, the CIA or something. And so the whole movie is, like, the camera, like, himself on the camera, like, on his computer screen. Like the whole movie is basically just you looking at his computer screen that's constantly him looking back at you, and then everything he does involves a camera on something else. Like, oh no, they're sending stealth bombers to blow up the Capitol. We've got cameras on those stealth bombers, and you can click on it and it makes a little boop beep boop noise, because everything on computers makes boop beep boop noises, right? Nothing's quiet. Everything has a notification noise. And I'm not exaggerating. That's the whole movie. There are no shots of things other than zooming into various parts of Ice Cube's screen and all the calls that he makes.
Weird.
There was a Windows startup screen as part of the movie. Like, there's every call he makes, every chat window he opens. Like, that's the movie. Wow. So, like, you see the aliens attacking from news footage from, like, CNN and Facebook and Twitter and whatever. That's how you see all of it. So I guess you don't really have to put a whole lot of effort into making the alien special effects look super real, because they're all on these, like, shitty, I don't know, hand cams or camera phones or whatever. Like, it is, as Paul said, staggeringly awful. I couldn't stop laughing. It's so funny because it's Ice Cube being a super secret CIA agent, saying things like, I got you, yeah, I see you now. Like, oh my God, this is unbelievable. I could not stop laughing. And then they tried.
I hate all of the words you are saying to me right now.
Oh, boy.
I hate all of them.
It was like there were scenes that were clearly meant to be dramatic that I'm just cracking up at, because it's like,
my God.
Are you taking this seriously? Like, who thought this was a good idea? The name drop for the movie made no sense, because, like, the aliens start attacking, and then there's CNN reports that they're calling it a war of the worlds. Why
are they? Who's calling it that?
Who are they, and why would they do that? There's no worlds involved. There's aliens there's one world involved, a second one tangentially involved. We don't know where that world is. We don't know where they come from a world. We don't know anything. Oh my God, it's so stupid. And then, like, his son is, like, they telegraph the shit out of this. His son is this super hacker dude, and then, like, the two of them wind up working together. And get this, the aliens, they don't die from the common cold. They die from, go ahead, guess.
Is it a computer virus?
It's a computer virus. You guessed it. You're so smart.
It's an interactive CD-ROM. I know this program.
Oh my God. It's amazing. It is.
Wow.
It is staggeringly awful. Is really the only thing that I can think of it.
That was the plot of Independence Day, and that movie's fucking great.
That movie is fantastic. But
that movie's awesome.
Now imagine Independence Day if there were no scene changes. It's just Ice Cube's face.
It's just Will Smith on a fucking FaceTime call the whole time.
If you can imagine that's the script is terrible.
I can imagine. Yeah, no, that's par for the course. I have liked Ice Cube in exactly one movie, and now I love Ice Cube. I have seen Ice Cube live on purpose. I went to see Ice Cube live. And there was a lot of people that didn't look like me there. And I was like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm going to see Ice Cube because Ice Cube's fucking dope. But Ice Cube was really good in Friday. Friday is fucking hysterical. It is absolutely one of the funniest fucking movies I have ever seen. And it has been all downhill since that. Even the Friday sequels
sent you
are
a screenshot.
awful.
Although I think I put it in the Plex Pals thing too, but no, that was in a different chat. No, I just sent you a screenshot. Yeah.
Well, you know he's serious because he's got kind of gray hair.
That face that he's making?
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand, Ice Cube.
Yeah, I get it.
I feel the same way.
I get it. Wow.
It's amazing. I know you don't like watching bad movies, so I don't know that I could recommend it. I definitely wouldn't recommend it all in one sitting. But it's one of those things, like, so you don't actually have to watch the whole movie.
Sure.
You could just watch, turn it on for 5 minutes and be like,
just to see the shit.
You just got to see, whatever piece of the movie you look at, that's the whole movie.
Wow. That is so fucking weird.
Establishing shots. He eventually leaves that room, but like then you only see it from the perspective of him running with his camera phone on him. Because apparently when you're running for your life, you're also holding your phone out so that people can see your face while you're talking. Obviously. Everything is FaceTime.
Wow. There's a lot of choices that were made there. There's a lot of really interesting choices, and I'm not sure.
It is amazing.
Why any? Because, like, War of the Worlds is the original, like, the fucking radio broadcast War of the Worlds is very, very special to me. It is something that I bonded with my grandmother over. Like, it is the first record that I was ever given. I sadly don't have that anymore because my horrible, family has it. Somewhere in Florida, I assume, if they didn't just burn everything like in an effigy of me, which is, I suppose, possible. But it's very, very special and personal to me. I love it to, unironically, little bitty pieces. And to see what has been done with a pretty simple concept to just fuck it up so spectacularly bad is impressive. Like now, and I don't hate the Tom Cruise movie the way you hate the Tom Cruise movie. I don't like that movie, but you go to a dark place.
I don't even remember. It's out of my system. I don't even remember it anymore. I don't remember what makes me mad about it anymore. I know there was one point where there was a wall of fire. I don't remember it, and don't remind me. I never want to see that again.
No, I really want to. I really want to bring it back up, but I know what that will do to this podcast, so I'm not going to. But man, it's a bold choice, Cotton.
In high school, this was really cool.
Move,
our drama teacher wrote a sort of a play around War of the Worlds called Radio Panic, and basically it was a play about us performing about us performing the radio broadcast. So it was like a play of the people that put it together, and then we perform it. And it was really cool. God, I can't remember what part I played. I know like me and Paul and Sean were all in it, and like we were just the vast majority of the play was just us performing the radio broadcast, and then people doing the sound effects, and like other people in the radio station like helping out and pushing buttons and stuff. It was really fascinating stuff. So yeah, the War of the Worlds radio broadcast also holds a pretty special spot in my heart as well. And this movie is not that.
That's impressive.
I mean, there's just calling it War of the Worlds is even a stretch, because it's just aliens invade, and then they want to eat all of our data, so they just attack places and eat data,
delicious,
and then
delicious data.
They turn that into they inject the data with a virus, and there's hackers, and his daughter's a scientist, and his baby daddy is an Amazon delivery guy. So there's lots of Amazon product placement. It's an Amazon movie. It's an
Amazon joint.
Yeah, it's
cool.
It's really, really spectacular. But what else is spectacular is the 10, 20, 30, 40, which is what we better get started on before it gets too much later. So the 10, 20, 30, 40, for anybody who is new around these parts, this is where we talk about notable game releases that came out 10, 20, 30, and 40 years ago. And we're going to start by jumping in our time machines to September of 2015, 10 years ago, where we were looking at two living generations of systems. You've got your PS3, 360, and Wii, as well as DS and PSP. And then the current generation back at that point 10 years ago was PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, and Ouya, technically, as well as the 3DS and Vita in the handheld department. So, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 had nearly identical months. In fact, all of the notable releases on both of these platforms, the only ones I could find were exactly the same. So we're talking 20 releases on PS3, 21 releases on 360. And on both platforms, you had Lego Dimensions, NBA 2K16, FIFA 16, and Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain.
Well, I mean, I love Metal Gear Solid 5.
You don't. The heck
Because
you say?
it's a Metal Gear game. It's a weird one. Phantom Pain is weird. Even by Metal Gear standards, it's weird. It's like most of Tiff's commentary on that game was, why are you still riding that fucking horse?
Why wouldn't I still be riding a horse?
There's a lot of horse riding. But I love it. It's Metal Gear, right? But Lego Dimensions, I know you don't love that game.
I really wanted to.
Yeah, I know it didn't grab you the way that it grabbed us. My kids loved it. Tiff loved it. It was such a fun idea, and I'm so sad that it fell by the wayside so quickly. Because they really went pretty fucking hard on it.
They went really hard on it, and I'm kind of surprised they haven't tried to do it again, considering where we are. Like, they could charge so much more for those Lego sets, and I feel like Lego sets have taken off so much more since Dimensions.
Yeah.
Like, Lego sets have just continued to get more expensive and harder to find, like, the specific ones. They could really do some shit here. They could really hurt us.
They really could intentionally, the fucking pricks. And it was just such a cool idea. Like, just this, like, just throw a bunch of random characters into random worlds, and you can be the Doctor flying around, David Tennant, flying around in
Wasn't it Capaldi?
Oh, God, it was Capaldi at that point. Jesus Christ.
Because I have that set.
Yeah,
I have that little Capaldi with the little sonic screwdriver and the
fuck, it was Capaldi. You could be Capaldi flying into Back to the Future, while you're also palling around with fucking Scooby Doo. Like, it's just fucking weird and kind of awesome. And like, if Fortnite has taught us anything, it's that these gigantic crossovers of like popular characters seems to be a thing people like. Yet somehow this one failed.
I mean, it was around for a minute. There was a hot minute where it was there, but it was at the end of the whole Toys to Life craze, because just segue to the next one. The one we released that we had was Skylanders Superchargers Racing. Which we'll hear more about the Skylanders on the other platforms, but the Wii was the only of the older platforms to get this Skylanders game.
Right.
Skylanders is kind of what kicked all this off, the Toys to Life thing, and that was a massive success. And then you had Disney Infinity and Lego Dimensions trying to get in on the action, and by that point, the fad had passed, and it just kind of became obvious that, well, what we really want is to just play the video games.
Yeah, these toys are cool, and I like having them as collectibles and whatnot, but, if I could just play the game, that would be fine too.
Yeah, and like that's, I really think that's kind of the crux of the biscuit, as they would say. The toys were cool, but the notion of like, John Wentz would say that, and he's not listening to this podcast, but he knows what I mean. Like,
well, okay.
What was it? Starlink? That was a pretty neat game, but at the end of the day, using the pieces to like change your ship around and stuff, it just stopped being cool. That was like, well, I think I'd rather just play the game. Why do I need to scan these figures to do different things?
Right.
Like, it was a neat trick once. And that's, I think, part of why Amiibo have stuck around so long, is that the in-game functionality is so tertiary. Like, they're selling those figures. The actual functionality of Amiibo has never been anywhere as integral to the experience as, like, Skylanders and stuff were. And I think that's why they're still here, because that aspect of Amiibo doesn't really matter.
No, it really... Well, and also there's a certain Nintendo fanboy craziness about it.
There is. So there's also the fact that they are nicer figures than the Skylanders were. Well,
I don't know. Those were pretty cool figures. They were just obviously made for younger kids.
The Skylanders were... They were made of a different kind of plastic. They were more toy-esque. And especially as Amiibo have evolved, like the more current Amiibo, they're very high quality. Like they don't feel like toys.
Yeah.
Which I think is a part of it. And like Disney Infinity was a similar situation. Those figures are amazing.
Yeah,
those
really
figures
cool.
were just stunning. I'm so sad that line didn't go further, because I would love to collect all those figures, because they were, what was so cool about those was that they took regular Disney stuff, Pixar stuff, Marvel stuff, and Star Wars stuff, and they all made them a cohesive art style.
Yeah.
So like you can just have Mickey Mouse next to Darth Vader and it kind of works.
Yeah,
that just in those things, like Mr. Incredible does not look out of place next to the freaking Lone Ranger, which
which it should, and like
it should. The Lone Ranger, maybe not Disney's smartest move.
Maybe not. But
there
Johnny
are some
Depp
really
is
no. That's not okay.
Yeah, maybe not. Like, and it works so much better than like even Kingdom Hearts, right? Like, because I've always felt, maybe this is just a me thing, but I've always felt that like Kingdom Hearts it just looks a little off. Like, they're definitely stylized, but it still looks like characters are invading a different world, whereas the Infinity stuff,
they kind of are, and that's I think that's why it works in
maybe
that one, because they kind of are. That's the thing. Like, you're going to a different world, and that world has its own very distinct style.
Yeah, I suppose
whereas
that's
Disney
fair.
Infinity,
I never thought of it like that. Yeah.
Was so much more cohesive. God, these Star Wars figures are so cool. I want every single one of these Star Wars figures. I want them all. They're so good.
And they were pretty fairly priced when they came out too.
They were, yeah. They weren't so bad. They
certainly weren't $30 a piece. Fucking amiibo.
Oh boy. Oh,
fucking
boy.
assholes.
I'm so happy I don't need to get those Mario ones.
Yeah.
I was like, man, those Mario ones look great. And then they did this new trailer that was they were showing off all the Mario amiibo, and then they showed them like, these are a little larger scale than the other ones. They showed them next to each other. I was like, cool, get that shit out of my life.
Yep, can't have that because it doesn't match.
I barely tolerate My Beautiful Joe Totaku, right? Because Totakus are largely in a similar enough scale to amiibo that they work, except that Beautiful Joe is way too fucking big. But I have him all the way at the end, and he's next to Pokemon characters, which are super stylized to begin with, so I can kind of ignore it, but that one sticks out like a sore fucking thumb. And if it wasn't Beautiful Joe, I wouldn't even have it. But yeah, all the rest of these things, if they're in the wrong scale, I can't take it. They just don't. It does not work for me. I love the fact that all the amiibo are in such similar scale. At least they used to be. Like those Street Fighter 6 ones. It's like, cool, Street Fighter amiibo. And then I saw them. I was like, these things are fucking enormous. Why are they so big?
Why are they so huge?
You didn't need to do that.
You pricks.
Anyway, back to business. Reining it back in.
Skylanders.
Right. Yeah, Skylanders was the only release that came out for the Wii. The DS didn't have anything. The PSP didn't have anything either, which means there is no winner for the previous generation. Xbox.
I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, Metal Gear wins. Not a platform because it was on both of them. But meanwhile, the PlayStation 4 had a whopping 64 releases this month.
Holy fuck! That's a lot.
Yeah, September's a big friggin' deal. Like, it happened again this year, right? We're drowning in games right now.
Oh my god, so many. In
addition to the highlights that jumped out at me on the PlayStation 4 were Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, Lego Dimensions, NBA 2K16, Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows, NHL 16, FIFA 16, and Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty big. That fucking Tony Hawk game is shit. Unfortunately, that was like really... After they had done all of the other stuff, they were like, you know what? Let's go back and do Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. And after that came out, I was like, man, maybe you fucking shouldn't have, you know? Yeah. You didn't have to tarnish it that way.
You probably should have let that one be.
But yeah, like, anytime FIFA comes out at that point, it was huge, right? Yeah. The NHL games, always super fun. Always good. Metal Gear Solid, obviously, fucking great. Yeah, that's not a bad month.
Oh, the Xbox One had a very similar month again. 53 releases for Xbox One, mostly DLC and Xbox Live Arcade garbage, but you've got your Metal Gear Solid 5, your Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5, LEGO Dimensions, NBA 2K16 and NBA Live 16, FIFA 16, Skylanders Superchargers, NHL 16, Forza 6, Castle Crashers Remastered, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. That Forza 6 is pretty nice.
Forza 6 and Castle Crashers Remastered.
Yeah.
Like, Castle Crashers
kind of gives it a little bit of an edge there.
I have not been able to fucking talk all day. I've just been a mushmouth asshole stumbling over my words since I woke up this morning. I think it's because DJ Hypothalamus decided that this morning's soundtrack would be Italian Leather Sofa by Cake for some reason. Like as soon as my eyes popped open, it was meh.
So you were just basically reenacting the intro to Mission Hill? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, 100%. Like I did watch that with the kids this week.
Well, there you go. There's your answer.
Mission Hill. So I know, but like the second my eyes opened, it just healthy breasts. Oh, love it. Yeah. Anyway,
I love Cake.
Oh,
so
God.
this is all well and good, and I don't know that you're going to give anything other than all of the platforms that have Metal Gear Solid 5 the win. But the Wii U also had a pretty solid month this month, because the Wii U had 20 releases. You got your LEGO Dimensions, your Skylanders Superchargers, you got your Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows, but you also have Gunman Clive HD and Super Mario Maker.
Oh, fuck, that's right. I got Super Mario Maker for my birthday that year.
Super Mario Maker was huge, too, especially by Wii U standards. That was about as big as Wii U games got, and it's
just such a good concept.
Yeah, very well executed.
Such a good concept that was very well executed while also still being so fucking Nintendo.
Yeah, very Nintendo in the way that you're uploading things. And
God damn it, why are you making this so hard?
And Mario Maker 2 improved on a lot of stuff except the interface, which was, that Wii U gamepad was the perfect interface for Mario Maker, which I think the only thing that could potentially top it is the Switch 2 with the mouse controls. Yeah, that's theoretically really spot on. So I'm very curious what happens when Mario Maker 3 comes out. But
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I really like Phantom Pain. Obviously, it's a Metal Gear Solid game. It is lower on my list. It's closer to the bottom of the list of solid titles than it is to the top. I would give the edge to Wii U. Mario Maker is so clever and interesting and innovative, and it just made so much fucking sense. Like, just give people the tools to build these worlds that, most of us are so familiar with. And it led to some really cool, creative, innovative, things. It was, made a game.
And Mario Maker 2, I did.
Not with the first one, but, eventually, those
I made
tools,
a bunch of cool stuff
could
in the
have
first
done
one.
that.
Yeah, I could have done that.
You could have done that in the first one. There was just such an interesting suite of creative tools available, and it all the rumors started right away too of the we're going to get the Legend of Zelda Maker as well, and I'm still fucking waiting for that one, just in that original style and whatever. I still want that game as well, but fuck, man, Mario Maker is such a huge deal and so fun, and giving that to my kids and then having them, Daddy, because they were 6 years old at the time. Daddy, come here, play the level I made. Was such a cool fucking thing.
Agreed. There were so many good times with that one.
Yeah,
loved it.
Really, really fun game.
Over on the handheld department, the 3DS had 8 releases, notable ones being Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer, Skylanders Superchargers Racing, and Shovel Knight Plague of Shadows. Where the PS Vita had 18 releases, none of which appeared to be of worth anything at all, with the exception of Zeo Drifter, which we've talked about before. It's a...
Yeah.
It's fine. Isn't it? That's the 10. That's a pretty solid 10.
It's pretty solid.
Solid.
I mean, you get a solid, and that makes my snake solid. But in a month where you get Metal Gear Solid and Mario Maker, like, that's pretty fucking big, man. That's not bad.
Sorry, I'm writing down... I'm trying to write down episode titles as I go, because I forgot to last week. And then, I scrambled, and I wound up calling last week's episode something about cod blobs, and we had another episode about 9 years ago that involved cod blobs.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
I think repeating one title similarly over 9 years is okay.
I was called out for it on the internet, I think.
Who called you out?
Let's see. Where was it? It was in our... I'm looking through my YouTube comments now to find it. At least I think that's what they meant, because now I'm not even 100% sure. Let's see. It's
allow me to point my selective outrage in the correct direction, Kris.
Trash-LOL said, took you 584 episodes to run out of names, which, let's be clear, we ran out of names a long time ago. The mad scramble to come up with episode names when I forget to take notes as we go is always fun. And then I responded, like, wow, 128. I knew exactly. And you know what? I had another name. I was going to... I wrote down, is Tingle annoyed? And that was going to be my name. And then I was like, no, I've always thought Cod Blops is funny. But, yeah.
It is funny.
It is funny. I should have went with the Tingle one. But you know what? It's okay. It is what it is. It's not the exact same name. I wrote the other... This was... my Cods got Blops, and then the other one from 9 years ago was... Cod Blops sounds like a fish disease.
Yeah, I like both of those.
If anything, I think this week... This is a sequel.
Yeah, I think this week, which, how apropos. This week should be, My Cod Blops Has a Fish Disease. I think that should be this week's episode title. Just fuck it. Every week from now on, it should be Cod Blops and just put a number and then put the... We should change the name of the podcast. You're listening to the Cod Blops cast.
No, you're listening to the Cod Blops pod. The Pod Blops.
Cod Blops pod. The pod cod. Fuck. I can't even. I lost it. My brain just went, no, shut up. That's not funny. You're an asshole. And shut down.
Marvelous.
Oh, God.
Meanwhile...
It's the Hunter's March that's ruining me, Kris.
Congratulations, I think.
I'm at the same part where you are.
Oh. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah. No, that's where I'm going. I'm doing it.
Okay.
I got real close right before the show started.
Oh, I stopped playing it, and I've completely stopped playing it. But we'll get to that.
We will.
I have a good reason. So anyway, on to the 20. September 2005. 20 years ago, we're talking about what some would call the greatest generation. And it's hard to argue when our first platform, the PlayStation 2, had 52 releases.
And 51 of them were greatest hits titles.
Honestly, listen to this lineup. This is just the stuff that stuck out to me, all right? Like, I skipped anything that was a Japan release or shovelware. Yeah. We got Midway Arcade Treasures 3, Capcom Classics Collection, Topspin, Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves, NBA Live 06, NBA 2K6, Ultimate Spider-Man, Indigo Prophecy, We Love Katamari, Genji Dawn of the Samurai, Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects, X-Men Legends 2, Tiger Woods 06, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, Burnout Revenge, both NHL 2K6 and NHL 06, and Rainbow Six Lockdown. What a month! Holy
Jesus
shit!
Christ.
Like, look, there's some trash in there, but it's notable trash, like Marvel Nemesis.
Sure,
that game's amazing.
Rise of the Imperfects.
That game is amazing. And, like, you've got your I thought it was really interesting. We were getting really interesting classics collections because this was before this stuff was available to like just buy for a couple of bucks online, right? So if you're getting your old games, you're getting through the arcade treasures and the Capcom Classics collections and the Sonic Mega collections and that kind of stuff. Yeah. So those I thought were relatively notable. But like, let's just talk about great, just solidly great all around. Sly 3, right? The Sly Cooper games are awesome.
Incredible.
Ultimate Spider-Man was great.
So good.
We Love Katamari. Fantastic.
So fucking good.
X-Men Legends 2.
So good.
And Burnout Revenge.
One of the best racing games ever made.
And then you've also got like,
right?
Like just a tier below it. You've got Mortal Kombat Shell and Monks, which is dumb, but it was really fun. Yeah. You've got Genji Dawn of the Samurai, which was pretty cool. And you've freaking Topspin showed up on PlayStation 2. I think this was the first time Topspin had been on the PS2. It's not virtual tennis, but it's still pretty dang good.
It's pretty fucking fun.
What a month.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Meanwhile,
man.
But wait, there's more. The Xbox also had a killer month with 33 releases, many of them similar. Your Midway Arcade Treasures, the Capcom Classics, your NBA Live and 2K, FIFA, Ultimate Spider-Man, Indigo Prophecy, X-Men Legends, Marvel Nemesis, as my customers used to say, Tiger Woods, Shaolin Monks, Burnout Revenge, NHL 2K6 and 06. But on top of that, you had the Xbox exclusive Tecmo Arcade Classics, which I believe included Bubble Bobble, which was pretty damn cool at the time.
That's pretty
cool.
You
had the first Far Cry. You had The Suffering, Ties That Bind.
Oh, shit. That was
and you had
cool game.
Ninja Gaiden Black.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking sexy.
That's good.
That's good.
I still give the edge to PS2.
As do I. I think. I mean, again, just in numbers. But
Sly. Well, I prefer Sly and Katamari to The Suffering and Ninja Gaiden Black, because I'd already played Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden Black is definitely a better version, but
it's much better. But I'd already played it.
Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't played We Love Katamari or Sly 3.
Exactly.
And Sly 3 is so good. Those Sly Cooper games may be the most criminally underrated PlayStation franchise. I mean, it's either that or Mark of Kree Rise of the
Because he's
Kasai.
a thief. That's why it's criminal.
Well, I
there
wasn't even going for that, but that works. Got him good. Jesus, like when you're just dripping genius, it's fucking... Oh, my God. But, they're such wonderful games. They're every single one of them. Even the first one that has some bullshit, like one hit kind of kill stuff, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong on that. I think they fixed that for 2.
It's been at least 20 years.
It's been at least 20 years since I've played them. But 3 is so good, and it's such a good series. Obviously, I mean, Sucker Punch then went on to make Infamous, which is also fucking great, and then Ghost of Tsushima, which, when we record next time, well, not next time, the week after that, I will have Ghost of Yotei, and fuck, like, that game was incredible. Tsushima was incredible. Like, they're just a really, really solid developer. And We Love Katamari's so fucking fun. Like, they were just sitting around going, that fucking Katamari game was pretty fun. Let's just have more of that and different shit. Like, all right, sweet, I'm in.
Fantastic. Yep. Just good stuff. Just good stuff all around.
But The Suffering was fun, too. Like, it's really dark and really was going, like... You can really see the divide of, like, where PlayStation kind of had something for everything, for everybody, and, like, Xbox was like, fucking, we're, like, super tough and bro-y. And that's kind of where that reputation comes from, a little bit of things like The Suffering. Which I think, didn't that eventually make it to PS2? It might have.
I want to say it started, because Ties That Bind is the second one. So I think I think they both came out on PS2.
Maybe.
Let's see. The Suffering was the original one was on PlayStation 2 and Xbox. Came out it came out first on PlayStation 2. No, sorry, PS2 and Xbox both came out on March 8th. Now, what of the second one? Suffering Ties That Bind came out also on PS2. Apparently came out on the same date, but it wasn't listed on who's he what's it on
it feels so much more Xbox
or whatever. Yeah,
doesn't it? Like,
it does feel like more of an Xbox thing than a PlayStation thing.
And like, that's not a knock. Like, please don't misunderstand me, chat. Or so I'm sorry. What the fuck did we say we were going to call them? Junk shields.
Junk shields, yeah.
Please don't misunderstand me, junk shields. That's so bad. I don't look, JS. I don't mean that as a knock. I really don't. Like, Xbox very much had an identity. You know, it was shit like Gears of War and fucking very aggro and brown. You know, which is all right. Like, it's fine.
Aggro and brown.
Yeah.
Just write that one down too. So I'm gonna have so many episode titles this week. We won't know what to do with ourselves. Meanwhile, the GameCube had 17 releases: Rainbow Six Lockdown, the Midway Arcade Thing 3, NBA Live 06, Ultimate Spider-Man, X-Men Legends 2, Tiger Woods, Marvel Nemesis, and the one exclusive was Battalion Wars.
So I don't know, Battalion Wars. Is that the Advance Wars 3D
Spin-off
thing?
Yeah, it doesn't play like Advance Wars.
No, not at all. Yeah,
it was interesting. I played the original Battalion Wars, and I didn't really play Wii. Battalion Wars Wii, which was just, don't ever abbreviate that. That looks terrible. It was okay. It didn't really get me. But
okay.
You know, it apparently did well enough to get a sequel. So, you know, not a bad month for GameCube.
No, certainly not. I mean, look, you could play Ultimate Spider-Man on any system you had, and Ultimate Spider-Man is a great fucking game. It's super fun. It looks great. They had really, like, dialed in the swinging mechanics and how fun that was by that point. And then the addition of getting to control the Ultimate Venom symbiote was outstanding. Like, that shit was just fucking fun. So, you were good either way.
Anyways, the handheld market, the Game Boy Advance, saw 19 releases plus one new piece of hardware. The Game Boy Micro released 20 years ago this month.
That was a weird thing.
It sure was. That was not a comfortable way to play anything.
No. Not at all.
They sure made it, though. That thing's wild.
Really did.
Anyway, the games Ultimate Spider-Man, DK King of Swing, and Rayman 10th Anniversary were highlights. Whereas over on the Nintendo DS, we had 10 releases. Highlights included Lost in Blue, Lunar Dragon Song, which was, if I remember correctly, not very good, Trace Memory, Space Invaders Revolution, and Ultimate Spider-Man.
The King of Swing was pretty fun, right?
That was okay. It was very much an acquired taste. It's a strange game. I liked it okay, and never enough to finish it, but I thought it was a neat idea. And it got a sequel on the DS years later.
I don't know that I've actually ever played it, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm sure I have, obviously, but like actually put time into it and been like, let me figure this out and see. Like, I don't know that I ever really have.
Yeah, it's an experience. It's okay.
Yeah.
Whereas the PSP had 12 releases: Tiger Woods, Space Invaders, Madden, Burnout Legends, and Medieval Resurrection. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I like the medieval games.
I know you do.
Fucking cheeky.
And the Nokia N-Gage had one release this month. System Rush. System Rush. Not System Runch.
Either way. Does anyone really care? Does it matter?
So that's the 20. That's a solid 10.
It's not bad.
And a more than solid 20. We're off to a great start here. Let's see if the 30 can follow suit. Spoiler alert, it can. For the most part. September 1995 had no major arcade releases that I could find, no major PC releases, but the Super NES had a pretty solid month this month, whereas once again, Sega's platforms were extremely disappointing. As you remember last month, there was like 2 Genesis games and 1 32X game or something. It was almost nothing. So the Super Nintendo had 13 releases. Highlights included Castlevania Dracula X, Doom, Mega Man 7, Power Rangers Fighting Edition, Batman Forever, NHL 96, Weapon Lord, Boogerman, and Zoop.
I mean, I do love me some Boogerman.
It's not a great game, but it's a game. It's a pick and flick adventure.
It fucking sucks.
But really, at
the
top, Castlevania Dracula X it's not Rondo of Blood, but it is a pretty damn solid Castlevania game as far as I'm concerned.
It's really good.
It's beautiful, and the music is astounding. The Doom on Super Nintendo was like crazy. You're playing Doom on the Super Nintendo. Like that
How and why? Yeah.
It was awesome. I loved playing Doom on Super Nintendo because it's just really cool to play it on a Super Nintendo. It just didn't make any sense to me. There it was, and it was functional. You could play it. You could see what you were doing. It was well featured, not fully featured, but they did a damn good job. And then there's Mega Man 7, which I know Mega Man 7, there's a sect of people that really don't like that game. And I guess I kind of sort of understand not liking it because the sprites are so much bigger, so it kind of changes a lot of the nature of the way a Mega Man game would work, because the playfields are innately smaller because of how much bigger the sprites are. But that shit never bothered me. Mega Man 7 is so good. It introduces it doesn't introduce the branching path kind of thing. 6 did, but 7 does it so much better. It is a gorgeous game with creative bosses. I liked the bosses in 7 a lot more than I liked them in 6. There was the Ghosts and Goblins reference in Shade Man's stage, where you could play the whole stage with his music. 7 is one of my absolute favorites. I adore Mega Man 7. It is so freaking good. And then the rest of the stuff was, varying degrees of standard. Weapon Lord was a big letdown, right? Because Weapon Lord was kind of being billed as this really big, hairy deal, and it just kind of wasn't.
It just sucks.
Zoop is kind of a fun puzzle game. Yeah. Zoop's pretty good time. Good stuff all around. That was a really solid month, especially considering that this was the month the PlayStation launched. That's obviously the big deal for this month. The PlayStation 1 launched. The Saturn's already out there, and Nintendo's just like, you don't need a new system yet. Look what we can do, and it's like they really made their case. They really did. The Super Nintendo was definitely still valid at this point. Whereas over on the Genesis, there were 2 releases. The Ooze and Batman Forever.
The Ooze is such a weird fucking game.
It is. It's a neat concept. I don't think it's fun, but it is a neat idea. I don't think so
either, but it is a neat game.
Sega CD had 2 releases, Wirehead and Lunar Eternal Blue. Lunar Eternal Blue being like an absolute legend. For those who like the Lunar games, this is the second one, and this was its original release here in North America from Work Design, so that's good shit. And the 32X had 1 release, which was Blackthorn, and that was Sega's.
That's a cool game.
That was Sega's front this year, this month. Aside from their sort of okay Saturn lineup, which we'll get to once we get to the next generation here. So that's the previous gen stuff. Sorry, Neo Geo. We also had Neo Geo, had King of Fighters 95, and Polestar.
Pretty solid games.
Yeah, Neo Geo kind of exists in its own thing, so
Neo Geo is very Neo Geo. It's such a weird outlier to everything.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay, so on to the next generation of stuff. We'll start with the Atari Jaguar. Jaguar had 2 releases this month. Rayman, which was pretty well done on the Jaguar, and then Ultra Vortec, which is a game I don't care for in the least.
I know nothing about that one, and I do not like Rayman, so I was a very sad
Rayman
Jaguar owner.
Is not my... Ultra Vortec was one of the games that Matt McMuscles covered in his worst fighting game ever.
Ooh.
series. So Ultra Vortec is a Mortal Kombat ripoff. So like it's got live action actors, but it doesn't control or look anywhere near as good as Mortal Kombat. And if I'm remembering correctly, this is the game that has the dude with the kilt, where he would like one of his projectile was he'd lift up his kilt and wait, no, I'm wrong. That's not this one. That's a different Mortal Kombat ripoff. This is the one that has like a really cool character select screen where there's this giant demon holding the players looking back and forth. This is a wretched game. This is just not good.
I know the kilt guy. I don't know what game he's from, but I know who you're talking about.
I don't remember which one he's from now either. I'm pretty sure it was on Jaguar, but it doesn't matter.
Let's find out.
Because this was also the launch of the Jaguar CD.
Ooh.
Launched with 2 games, VidGrid and Blue Lightning.
Which, I mean, if you're going to, if you're going to counter the Sony PlayStation launch with your own CD, those are the 2 games you want.
Yeah, I mean, VidGrid is an FMV point-and-click disaster, I guess. You, like, try to unscramble music videos. And then you've got Blue Lightning, which if I'm remembering correctly, is a helicopter game. Blue Lightning for Jaguar CD is indeed it's like no, it's not helicopters. It basically really wants to be Afterburner, but it's not. Like, it's fine. I kind of remember this game. It's not Afterburner.
Angus McGregor from Atari Jaguar's 1994 release, Kasumi Ninja.
Kasumi Ninja. That was it.
That's the one.
I have that one.
Yeah.
Good times.
I found it on a post of the worst Mortal Kombat ripoffs, and I think they are correct with their number 1, Tattoo Assassins.
Ooh.
Which never came out, but was going to be a thing, and
Yeah, I think, did that get covered by Worst Fighting Game? Yes, it did. So, I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's one of my favorite series. Matt McMuscles has a great YouTube channel, and he does this, I think it's about once a month, the worst fighting game, and he's trying to find the worst fighting game of all time. Originally, it was like to see what could top Criticom as being like the worst fighting game.
Right.
And for the last year, it's been the Super NES version of Pit Fighter. Has been unstoppable. Nothing has been able to beat.
That is pretty fucking wretched.
I didn't even remember it being as bad as it is. I thought it was pretty comparable to the Genesis game, but it's not. It's bad.
It's real bad. I remember being really disappointed about that because I really liked Pit Fighter for some reason. Pit Fighter is not a good game.
It is not.
Like, even the best version of Pit Fighter sucks butt, if you pardon the French. So, like, to get a really bad version of that game...
Yeah. So, the Tattoo Assassins actually wound up in the fairly stinky category, which is one of the best categories you can get in the Matt McMuscles worst fighting game lineup. There's the worst fighting game, then Former Champs, Grand Trash Masters, Close but Not Quite, Fairly Stinky, and That'll Be Just Fine. So some of them are actually, like, just fine. Like Street Fighter the movie. It's fine.
It's fine.
But yeah, it's a fascinating series. Highly recommend it. Anyway,
I'll check it out.
Back to business. The 3DO actually did, I mean... They didn't do a good job, but they did appear to be trying to counter the PlayStation's launch. Because the 3DO had 9 releases this month, which is pretty big for a 3DO month. You had Mad Dog 2, The Lost Gold, Shadow, War of Succession, Advanced Dungeons & Dragons Slayer, Burning Soldier, Soccer Kid, Battle Chess, Guardian War Micro Cabin... I don't even know if that's I might have gotten that one wrong. I think it might just be called Guardian War. I don't know. Either way, Star Control 2 and the all-time classic, Plumbers Don't Wear Ties.
Oof. Yeah, all that's awful.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I don't like any of those.
Bad. No.
And the ones that I know. There are some that I don't know, but no. So what do you think? Do you want to cover what Saturn did first, or do you want to cover what? Let's do Saturn. Let's knock Saturn out.
Yeah,
so
let's fucking bury the lead here.
On the month of our PlayStation launch, the biggest competition, the Sega Saturn, had 5 releases. So in addition to their pretty anemic showing on Genesis, Sega CD, and 32X, the Saturn had Myst, Shanghai Triple Threat, Virtual Hydlide, but they also had Shinobi Legends and Astel.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Astel's pretty neat, aside from the fact that there's no writing on the spine for the box, which drives me crazy. It's just blank.
Yeah.
They just forgot to put the logo there. Myst is Myst. It was everywhere. Shanghai is just a Shanghai game. Who cares? Virtual Hydlide is terrible. But Shinobi Legends, as you've told me, is pretty solid. And Astel is a pretty neat game, too.
I don't know that I would go so far as to say Shinobi Legends is solid. But it is really interesting and better than it should be, but still so fucking 90s.
It was better than Ice Cube's War of the Worlds.
I mean, yes. I think that not having seen War of the Worlds, and I don't love making blanket statements about things that I have not seen, but I do feel comfortable based on your description and my knowledge of his past work to say that it was leagues better than fucking...
Most likely, yes. Oh, boy.
A
all right.
Zoom call. Boy, oh, boy.
It's so bad. It's so profoundly terrible.
Yeah. Boy, is that not what you want.
All right, the PlayStation launch. I was seeing sort of weirdly conflicting reports here. The best I could come up with, the PlayStation launched with 12 titles. And those titles were as follows. Air Combat, Battle Arena Toshinden, ESPN Extreme Games, Killik the DNA Imperative, NBA Jam Tournament Edition, Power Serve 3D Tennis, The Raiden Project, Rayman, Ridge Racer, Street Fighter, the movie, the game, Total Eclipse Turbo, and Zero Divide.
I mean, did you need anything other than Ridge Racer? Ridge Racer was so huge.
Yeah, Ridge Racer was a pretty big deal.
Battle Arena Toshinden was fucking awesome. Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, as far as brand new, this is our first game platform launches go, and the PlayStation itself being a really nice machine that was affordable and could play CDs and looked a hell of it was a hell of a value proposition stacked up next to the Sega Saturn and especially the 3DO. So
yeah,
the games weren't these aren't 10 out of 10 all-time classics with the exception of Ridge Racer. But ESPN Extreme Games, Battle Arena Toshinden hasn't aged super well. Air Combat is very solid.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. And it was the freaking PlayStation.
Yeah.
It was the start of one of the biggest things ever. It's great.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, and it just has gone on to be, Xbox has been pretty fucking successful. But, Sony killed Sega. And, arguably, Atari and 3DO.
Well, I feel like those two killed themselves.
Maybe. But Sony certainly fucking helped.
The PlayStation doesn't come out, the Jaguar and 3DO still die horrible deaths.
Okay, that's probably fair. That's probably fair.
When your 64-bit Jaguar can't keep up with the 16-bit Super NES, you've got nothing. There's nothing for you. It's just not happening. Speaking of things that just aren't happening, the Virtual Boy had one release this month. Virtual League Baseball, which will not be on Nintendo Switch Online.
Huh.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It's red.
It's very red. It is kind of fun. It's got a cute personality. I think what kills this is that there's no multiplayer because the link cable never came out, and it suffers from old sports game syndrome of the computer is just like, it will catch every fly ball. The computer will catch everything. The computer will hit every pitch. The computer is just out of control. Good. Which, that happened in old sports games. You play old sports games against your friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Game Boy had arcade 4 releases: Arcade Classics #3, Galaga Galaxian, Earthworm Jim, Foreman for Real Boxing, and Street Fighter 2, whereas the Game Gear had 1 release, which was Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Look, Street Fighter 2 on Game Boy is another one of those things that's like, this shouldn't work. And it's not it's not amazing, but it kind of does work. Like, especially over Mortal Kombat 1 on Game Boy was pretty wretched. But Street Fighter 2 was pretty functional. Capcom did amazing work on the Game Boy. Like, that Game Boy Color port of Street Fighter Alpha 1 still astounds me to this day. That's one of those things you look at and just like...
That Game Boy Color port of Alf is just so good.
It's back in Game Boy Color form. So, Dan, we've done it. We've had a great 10, a great 20, a great 30, but we're not going to have a great 40 because it's 1985, and the video game market in North America is shit. We've got Ghosts and Goblins came out in the arcades, so there you go.
That's a big fat hairy win.
Yeah, the PC market saw the original Bard's Tale and Xanadu.
Yeah, I mean, pretty big. Pretty impressive.
Whereas the Atari 2600, as far as I can tell, has no new releases until July of 86. The Intellivision is still on a dry spell. We might get something next month, I believe. The Atari 5200 has nothing for the rest of the year. The ColecoVision doesn't have any releases until, I think, 1989. And the NES comes out next month.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah. But the NES comes out next month, so we're going to get somewhere. The resuscitation of the games market is gonna happen starting next month. Yes. So, as far as finding Master System dates to add to this, that I think is going to be a challenge because I don't think there's a lot of Master System dates outside of a year. Separating them out on a month-by-month basis might be difficult, but I'm going to see what I can track down whenever that comes out in the U.S. But that wraps up the 10, 20, 30, 40. Not a terrible month. We've had some pretty bad months this year. This was a pretty great month all around. Yeah.
Yeah. It was pretty fucking good.
We're going to take ourselves our first break. When we come back, we're going to sit back, relax, talk about what's been going on in week-old news. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from Geekade.com. Stick around.
Hey, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Andy. Neither of us are David Crane, but we are the hosts of David Crane's Amazing Movie Time.
That's our monthly Geekade Patreon exclusive podcast that covers movies that are cult classics, weird, or just sometimes laughably bad.
We ourselves have at least 2 of those qualities, so I guess it makes sense to hear what we think of those movies in retrospect.
You can hear all that and more by becoming a Geekade Patreon supporter.
And, as always, be kind, rewind.
When you hear the words cross-stitch, you probably think of a grandma lovingly making a Christmas stocking, a picture of a lighthouse, or maybe a Bible verse with flowers. But that's not what we do at Shoot the Moon Stitches. We take the old-fashioned art of cross-stitch and pair it with contemporary themes and imagery to create striking works of art that make the perfect gift for anyone who grew up with the internet and has a wicked sense of humor and an appreciation for pop culture. From cult favorite TV shows and movies, to retro video games, to TikTok trends. If it's made you smile, chances are we've stitched it. You can shop our selection of art and gifts by going to Etsy.com and searching Shoot the Moon Stitches. For all your fun, feminist, fandom fiber art needs, visit Shoot the Moon Stitches.
Vestlord is here, clicking and clanging away on the controller for the entertainment of the public. That's right, the premier cyber sports entertainer is back in league with the Electronic Coliseum, where all the cyber sports entertainment happens. The Vestlord is going on a winning spree of likes unknown to get a shot at the coveted Electronic Coliseum. Championship. If you want to see if the Vestlord has what it takes, head on over to the show notes for where to find him, or search Vestlord on Twitch or YouTube. Become a fan of the ECC, back the best, cheer for the Vest. See you there.
All right, everybody, we are back, and it is time for our next segment, which is my favorite segment. It's your favorite segment. It's everyone's favorite segment. Strap yourselves in for Week Old News. Welcome to Week Old News, where we talk about all the news that was new a week ago. Now, all right, let's see. How do I want to do this? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just...
You're so quiet. I was like, oh, shit.
You tell me. You're the host.
Well, I feel like you should be our news correspondent. So, like, I'll introduce Week Old News, and then I should, like, kick it over to our news correspondent.
Should I try and do it, like, in a fucking news voice?
You do whatever you do, all right? We now go live to our news correspondent, Dan Ryan.
Thanks, Kris. Anton Blast appears to be jumping on the Virtual Boy bandwagon. Perhaps the biggest surprise of the recent Direct was Nintendo's Virtual Boy announcement for the Switch Online service. If that wasn't already enough for 1 week, the developer behind the indie sensation Anton Blast has now timed its own announcement with this news, revealing it will be adding a dedicated VB mode in the title's next major update. Here's the official rundown about this, along with how you'll be able to activate this mode. I really can't keep that up the whole time. Well, that was pretty good, though, right? Like that was pretty accurate. I feel it felt good. So Nintendo Life is reporting that Anton Blast, and they've got screenshots of it. It's just a Virtual Boy filter over Anton Blast, like over the regular Anton Blast gameplay, but I fucking love it. I think it's awesome. You can go and you can purchase the virtual visor from Brulo's, which I assume is the in-game shop, for a measly 770,000 casino chips. You can turn it off and on anytime you want while you're playing the game. It looks fucking awesome. That's great. Our friends over at Push Square report. Yeah, do you have anything to say about that? Sorry.
I have nothing to add. I mean, it's neat that the game was, to an extent, like, well, fine, if you're not going to make a new Wario Land game, we'll make a Wario Land game. But it is really a very different animal. So
yeah, from what I understand, I still haven't played it, and Penn, like she does, she gets super obsessed with things. Like she was super obsessed with Pizza Tower and Anton Blast and Wario, and then when she drops it, she drops it, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
That was cool. No, let's never speak of it again.
Let's never fucking speak of it again. Yeah. She's done that with games and movies and fandoms and people, which, you know, hopefully now that she's 16, she's learned to not do that to people. Evan, don't come in here talking when I'm fucking reading the news. That's so unprofessional.
I mean,
Jesus.
He sent a message saying not to talk to him. Did he really think we weren't going to talk to him?
I know. I don't have a mic set up yet. It still made a noise. Yeah. You fucking sexy bitch. I love you. I'm happy you're here, and I'm happy you're safe.
We were getting worried about you, buddy.
Yeah, really. Our friends over at Push Square report that Sony is looking to advance its position as the creative leader in single-player experiences. And I think that's an interesting thought, right? Because I still think of Microsoft as the home of multiplayer, right?
Yeah.
You know, Call of Duty feels at home on the Xbox. That the Gears of War,
Halo
that sort of
multiplayer, yeah.
Halo, yeah. That just feels still, I think, for those of us in our particular age bracket, certainly Like, that was the Xbox, like, that was the gimmick, right? The fucking LAN parties and all of that shit. But I think the trying to look at the difference between PlayStation and Nintendo as far as single-player, story-driven experience is concerned is a bit of an interesting conversation, because that's really Nintendo's foray as well. They certainly have their multiplayer games.
The story-driven single-player stuff is very much Sony's bag. Gameplay-driven single-player stuff is Nintendo's bag. Right?
Yeah, I suppose that's a fair... Yeah, I suppose that's fair.
Sony's way more focused on the narrative and how to use single-player gameplay to tell a story, whereas Nintendo, they develop them things completely backwards. They're like, let's come up with a fun gameplay loop and then worry about story second. And, like, obviously they have exceptions to this, right? They've tried to do more with story in Zelda. They've tried to do, a bit more story in Donkey Kong Bonanza, but... it's not The Last of Us. It's not God of War. Like, Sony's whole thing is, like, really elevating that kind of single-player game.
Right.
I
Death
think
Stranding 2, the
exactly.
Ghost of Yotei,
yeah,
the Spider-Man
they're moving in a very,
stuff.
very specific direction of, like, more cinematic gameplay experiences, and Nintendo is trying to evolve, is always trying to evolve what they do, which is just new, fun gameplay style things. Those are very two different personalities that I think complement each other great, because they're both very good at what they do, and they're both such different things. It's one of the reasons that every time you say something like Zelda would do so well on PlayStation, it's like, I feel like it would do well because it's Zelda, but it's still such a Nintendo thing, because Zelda games are always developed with that very Nintendo personality. They develop the games based on this is the gameplay loop, and then we'll build on top of that. And I feel like the Sony audience really wants those character-driven, like that kind of more cinematic type of thing.
The interactive movie is a lot of what the PlayStation experience is.
Yeah, I
there's
do
nothing
feel
wrong
like that.
With that.
I feel like that terminology
feels
can
like
be a bit.
It's
a bit reductive, but because when you're playing something like Uncharted, I guess to an extent it feels like an interactive movie, but like it's such a game too. Like it is. It feels like it feels like more than just interactive movie, but I don't know what else you would call it. God, Uncharted was good.
Yeah, I don't... Oh, God, it's so good. It's so good. And what's interesting about where this information comes from is that last year, the Sony PlayStation, like the company guideline document, was really heavily focused on live service, multiplayer, microtransaction shit, and did not mention being focused on solo cinematic experiences like this year's document does. I think what we had kind of hoped that Sony would learn from Astrobot getting all of the awards last year is that this is what people want from you. This is where we want to see you go. And this article goes on to mention that, just for things that we... like things in the far off future that we don't know a ton about, but like we're already kind of salivating for these things. You've got the Wolverine game that is coming out that should be, if it's, the same kind of polish as Spider-Man, should be fucking incredible. You've got the new Naughty Dog shit, that Intergalactic, the Heretic Prophet. That looked really cool. And then you've got this new game, Sorrows, that also looks really awesome. And a rumor that I will get to here in a couple minutes that has me just very, very excited. But sticking with PlayStation, our friends at Kotaku report that Sony Interactive Entertainment made roughly $31.5 billion in its last fiscal year. Okay, which is up 10% from the year prior, so that's great. And the games division, only 3% of their sales came from physical games. So what's kind of crazy is that 97% of the sales came from digital sales, but that 3% of $31.5 billion is still $945 million.
That's a lot of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. The concerning thing is that in 2020, 6% of revenue for Sony came from physical media. In 2021, it was 5%. In 22 and 23, it was 4%. In 24, it was 3%. Or 24 and 25 was, 24 was 3%. So it's been steadily dropping. And I'm pretty sure, based on the rumors and whatnot, that the PlayStation 6 is the default model of the PS6 will be what they've done with the PlayStation. It will be a digital platform with a disk drive add-on. I think is probably what we're going towards. I don't think you're going to see a dedicated disk model of the next system. And that worries me.
Same.
I don't love that. Now, if they continue to release disc-based add-ons into the foreseeable future for, a PS6 and a 7 and an 8 and a whatever, fine. But we are steadily moving away from physical media as far as games is concerned, and that is just kind of a concerning trend.
Hard agree.
Yeah, I don't love that.
There are lots of concerning trends in this industry, which we will talk more about in the not-too-distant future. But yes, the move away from physical media is slightly disturbing, but it's obviously understandable. There are advantages to digital media over physical media.
Of course.
But also,
it's a pain in the ass to get my lazy ass up off the couch and go switch a disc.
And it's
but I also want to own the shit I own.
A much more expensive proposition for small developers to put their game out in a way to get it into store shelves and the finite amount of space there. It's a complicated subject. But I also like to own my shit, so...
I like to own my shit. And speaking of owning my shit, Time Extension reports that 4 more Evercade carts are being removed from circulation, which means that any store that currently has stock of these 4 titles will sell through their stock, and once they're gone, they're gone. And it's similar to the way that a lot of these things work with these kind of compilation discs, is because they're licensed to produce the games that are on there have expired. So we're looking at the Pico Interactive Collection 2, Indie Heroes Collection 1, Mega Cat Studios Collection 2, and the Sydney Hunter Collection. Those are all going into the legacy category through Evercade, which also includes Namco Museum Collection 1, Atari Collection 1, Technos Collection 1, and the Oliver Twins Collection. Which is kind of a bummer, because... Yeah, it's kind of a bummer, because that's the Evercade thing of, these are these compilations of these old games, but if you didn't get them, you're kind of shit out of luck.
True, but they've been around for a while.
Secondary market and whatnot.
Nothing can stay in print forever. That's the other piece of physical media. With digital games can stay on a digital storefront for indefinitely if they're able to maintain the rights, but you can't. No company can continue to make every single one of their games physically for all time. At a certain point, products are just going to have to be retired so that they can afford to make new ones, and that is an unfortunate piece of the business. Again, this is where physical versus digital, finding some way for these two to coexist, I think, is important. And I think we were there for a little while, but
yeah,
maybe we'll get back there. We'll see.
We will see. Time Extension also reports that the Amiga lives. Apollo A6000 promises to pick up where Commodore left off, which is kind of an interesting thing. Commodore, the name, has been bandied about quite a bit. YouTuber Christian Simpson has been picking up many of the licenses and things that go along with the Commodore name. However, one of the things that has not been picked up by him is the Amiga. That name has gone through a bunch of different people. Commodore went bust in 94. People have been homebrewing Amiga stuff forever, and will continue to do so. A new Amiga thing is on its way. It is called the V4 Apollo A6000. It is billed as the most powerful Amiga 68K compatible ever created. It comes in a very nice looking keyboard case. It looks pretty cool. It offers unmatched speed, stunning graphics, modern connectivity, all while preserving the iconic simplicity and spirit that made the Amiga a household name. Which is pretty cool. Like, right on. Keep Amiga shit alive. I like that there will be, some of this stuff continuing to happen. The Amiga homebrew scene is really interesting. The price of this fucking thing, though, is, oh boy, Kris.
I haven't seen it. What is it? I have not seen the price.
Okay. The V4 Apollo First Edition cost 999.60 euros.
What?
And that's a lot of European nuts, as someone would say.
You want fries with that, baby?
So what? I don't know what the let's see. What is the dollar to euro exchange rate? No, I don't want the dollar to won exchange rate. I'm no longer watching Squid Games. Stop it. Let's see. One United States. So 999.60 euros is $1,174.09. That's fucking spicy, man.
Spicy meatball.
Now that's the first edition, and I don't see any price for any fucking other editions. But whatever, that's fucking nuts. But if you're like a Super Amiga person, then I hope you have $1,200 to fucking drop on this thing, you maniac. Oh boy, Push Square reports that the anti-Madden arcade sports sequel Mutant Football League 2 gears up for a 10th of December release. I had no idea this was coming out, and that's pretty cool.
I agree.
Because this is made by one of the people from the original Mutant League football and Mutant League hockey teams, Michael Mendheim. Mutant Football League, the first one came out in 2017, and it was pretty cool. It was pretty fun. It's ridiculous, right? It's just an absolutely absurd thing. But Madden is so safe, and it's so sanitary, and it's so filled with fucking microtransactions. And as we've talked about, the fucking video games should be fun, man. Sports games especially should be fun. NBA Jam, the commentator from NBA Jam, Tim Kitzrow, is doing commentary for this game. Like, they get it. I hope it's fun. I had no idea it was coming out, but I wanted to mention it. He's on fire.
Sorry, I was yawning. No, I agree.
That's okay.
Mutant League was good stuff.
Yeah,
and
good stuff.
I wonder like how expensive the name was, where they weren't able to like just get the name.
I mean, I feel like if they could get away,
like I feel like somebody's got to own
obviously.
it that wanted some cash for it. See now,
but I feel like if they could get away with just
like
flipping the two,
random was. Yeah, it's
like why would you spend anything?
It's a good point. They should just let them have it.
The League of Mutant Football would have been fine.
League of Extraordinary Mutant Football.
Right? Kotaku reports two more from me. The era of video game remakes is just getting started. A new report finds this is based on the sales and players for Oblivion Remastered. And I'm kind of fine with it. Right? I'm kind of fine with the remakes and remasters. The thing that concerns me about it is when we are remastering things that just came out. Where, like, I'm looking at you, Naughty Dog. I'm looking at The Last of Us. Like, really? Those games didn't need it, you know? They really didn't. The
6
first
months from
Uncharted
now, we're
needs
gonna
it.
get DK
Like, if
Bonanza.
you're going to remastered, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, what are we doing? DK Remastered or DK Bonanza 4K? Like, I'm all about remakes and remasters. There's a lot of older ideas, and over the time that we have done this show, we have talked about so many games that we would love to see remade, remastered, reimagined, all of that stuff. I'm all for it. But hopefully we are not going down this rabbit hole of modern, like, current generation shit getting remastered. Because I really don't love that.
Yeah, I've got some, yeah. I've got some issues with a little bit of the Nintendo's, well, let's just re-release Switch games on the Switch, too, at full price.
Yeah, like...
Those aren't, but at least they're not going out of their way to call them remasters. They're just like, it's the Switch 2 edition. If you have the original one, that works too, kind of. I don't know. I'm starting to get a little tired of these Plus things, especially that DK DLC is rubbing me the wrong way now. I was so excited for it, but now I've like read reviews about it, and it's like, once again, not quite as bad as the Mario Party DLC, but it's like not $20 worth of content.
No, it's definitely not. You just recolored the gold green,
and it's not like they. It's not like it was. It doesn't feel like it was carved out of the game to be sold as DLC, right? Because like the game does not feel incomplete without this by any stretch of the imagination. Right. DK Bonanza feels like a complete experience, but this just doesn't feel baked enough to be a DLC pack. Like so far, the Kirby one is that's a solid DLC pack. That is more of that game. It is the state. Obviously, it's the whole regular game beefed up to 60 FPS and looks absolutely gorgeous. But also, like, there's actual new content there. There's new versions of these stages with what are they, mouthful modes and different paths and stuff that open up as you're going along. Whereas you look at something like the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild, and it's like, well, that doesn't include the DLC that came out or in the first place. And yeah, at least it's included in NSO. So, you know, that's the part. Yeah. That's the part that's kind of irking me even more. Not to get too off topic, but like this Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC is $20. But if it was included in NSO, well, that's a horse of a different color right there. If that was included,
now this is just kind of a fun thing that we're doing.
Yeah, and if you have the NSO expansion pack, which is, you know, it's still way cheaper than shit like Game Pass, but if you have that, and they gave us the Octo expansion back in the days, that the Mario Kart expanded pass, and they gave us both the Zelda ones, like,
and wasn't there some Animal Crossing stuff too?
Yeah, the Animal Crossing DLC, and that was also was sizable amount of content right there.
Yeah.
So this kind of anemic stuff, like DK Bonanza, like, why isn't that included in your expansion pack? That smells to me like exactly what that kind of thing is for. Because, like, it's not worth $20. Nobody should pay $20 for it. But, you know, it might be worth signing up for this, I don't know, it was a $10 DLC. I'd certainly consider it. I probably would have bought it at $10. But
I would have impulse bought it at $10 and been fucking mad.
Yeah, I would have been like, I would have been
upset.
Fine. I would have been like, I definitely would have impulse bought it at 10. That's what I went to the eShop to do. And then I saw the price tag and was like, yeah, I can't really justify this because it doesn't look like there's a ton, and I'm not going to love this. This extra mode seems to be slightly divisive too, because there are some folks that really like it. And then there are others that are just like, I don't care. So
I'm sure it's fun.
Yeah, but I definitely would not have gotten $20 worth of fun out of it. No chance.
But that core gameplay mechanic of just smashing shit to pieces is fun. So adding like a mode around it is fine. But it should have been there from the beginning, and you shouldn't have just recolored all the gold green. Like, that's fucking lazy. It just is. Anyway, so the last things for me, because I am not going to discuss everything that was revealed in the 6-1 Indie Showcase, because that showed off over 40 games. And I'm also not going to discuss everything that was revealed during the Convergence Game Showcase, because that was an additional 30 games. All of these things are coming out before Tokyo Game Show. So I have 70 trailers to watch, so that's super fun. But there are some God of War rumors that seem pretty fucking likely. We know we have some state of plays will be coming up relatively soon. Tokyo Game Show is coming up. And there are two rumors. One is that there will be a 2.5D Metroidvania-style God of War game released at some point this year. That will take place in the ancient Greece setting, comparable to the Lost Crown. That seems to be kind of the basis for what people are talking about, like the scuttlebutt around it, is that it'll be that sort of size, that sort of scope. So obviously much smaller than a proper God of War entry, but something to look forward to. But the other rumor involving God of War is that the next main game, and this was hinted at pretty strongly in Ragnarok, but that we seem to be damn near ready to confirm that the next game will be taking place in Egypt, with the Egyptian pantheon of gods. And I could not be any more fucking excited for that. The idea of putting the craziness that is the mythological depictions and aspect of the Egyptian gods into a God of War style game is so fucking awesome. I am so excited about that. And Kratos is apparently going to have like a scimitar or Kopesh kind of Egyptian sword as his main weapon in the game, which I'm sure you will get the axe and the blades of chaos as well. But that could be really fucking cool.
That does sound like a pretty rad idea.
Yeah.
I hadn't even really
that's all I
considered
got. Like, there is some very strong hinting in Ragnarok that he's heading to Egypt. And that idea of, because like we used to joke about it back in the day, like, all right, after he's done killing all the Greek gods, well, then he's got to go get all the Roman gods, and then the Norse gods, and then Egyptian gods, and then the Christian gods.
I was going to say, when's it coming for Jesus?
Like, I mean, because they will definitely never do that.
No. No.
But
they should.
They should, because it is all fair game. If you look at it from a mythology standpoint, it should all be fair game. But there are so many interesting pantheons of gods from these mythology stories to pull from. Like, there's so much cool shit that they could do. And just thinking about the crazy battles and the art direction that God of War is known for, thinking of things of like Set and Bast and Anubis and Ra and all of that stuff. Like, yeah, sign me the fuck up. I'm way in. I was going to say well in, and then I remembered I'm not British, so I didn't. Yeah. That's all I got. Back to you in the studio.
I thought you were going to do mine too. All right, let's see. Where did I start?
Oh, you want me to do yours too? All right, I'll shut the... No, shut up.
Can.
I'll keep going. All right, well, I didn't open those, so now I got to open them. Microsoft is raising Xbox prices in the U.S. again. The most affordable Xbox model now costs $400. Oof. Beginning October 3rd, the most affordable Xbox on the market. And like, look, this is not the X. If you don't have any of the current generation consoles, if you don't have a Switch 2, PS5, or an Xbox Series, the Series S is not the one you want. Just like the Switch is not the one you want. So an Xbox Series S with a 512 gigabyte hard drive will be $400. That's all of these are going up about $20 for the most part, except for the 2 terabyte one, or the actual Series X, which is crazy. And again, this is all starting October 3rd. So if you're thinking about buying one, get it before then. Xbox Series S 1 terabyte is $450, up from $430. Here's where it gets spicy. The Xbox Series X, which would be the one you want, digital, up to $600 from $550. The Xbox Series X with a disc drive, up to $650 from it says from $500. I think that was from $600 though. And the Xbox Series X 2 terabyte Galaxy Black Special Edition will now be $800 US doll hairs. That's a hard ask.
Woof.
It's a hard ask, man. Like, even just looking at the Xbox Series X digital, that digital platform for $600. It has a 1 terabyte solid state drive, which is great. It's got the wireless controller, the whole thing. Like, it's a nice system, but it's going to be fucking $600. Like, that's a lot, man. It's a lot of fucking money for a digital system. And when you look at the PS5, I mean, PS5 is a lot of money too. PlayStation 5 disc edition is $600. The digital edition is going to be $100 cheaper. So, we're not talking Pro here. The PlayStation Pro is like whatever. But tariffs. IGN reports that Nintendo customer support concern following the outsourcing decision ahead of Switch 2's first holiday season. Impacted workers say they feel betrayed after years of service. This is Nintendo of America. They've made the decision to outsource their customer support services, resulting in hundreds of contractors losing their jobs. Outsourcing sucks. Outsourcing customer support is even worse.
Nintendo's customer support, I have dealt with them so many times over the years, and they've been
legendary,
almost always great. I mean, there's been obviously there's always going to be issues with customer support from time to time, but all throughout my life, ever since the old days of Nintendo Power, and they have had such amazing customer service. It's one of the things that helps me recommend their products to people. That's no longer the case.
Yeah.
I'm not for outsourced customer service. No, absolutely not. Because you're already talking about people dealing with language barriers, and they're not as rigorously trained. It's just not. It's not the same, and
it just isn't. Like, look,
Nintendo's not hurting for money right now.
They're not.
I understand this is a way to save money and increase profits, but boy, between this friggin' patent stuff going on and now this, and pricing me out of this hobby with everything being so expensive, Nintendo's kind of on my shit list at the moment. It's really not. It's not making me excited to buy their stuff. They're kind of being pricks, riding a little bit too close to the sun. They're Sonying it up, as they say.
Yeah,
they're in their PlayStation 3 era right now, and
they are certainly walking around swinging their dick.
I wish they weren't being, right? Because there's people at Nintendo that are still making, they still do these games, they still make these products because for the love of gaming, but also to answer to shareholders. But the developers are. You can tell most of their products are still made with this love, but man, the company culture surrounding it is getting shittier and shittier all the time. And not like they're for the billionth time, I always feel like I have to clarify. I am well aware they're not my friends. They've never been our friends. They're a big old corporation. But that said, they were
But it didn't used to be like this.
They were one of the less evil corporations. And it's just not feeling that way anymore.
This is the first time that Nintendo has felt, rightly or wrongly, the way they're being portrayed in gaming journalism and all of those things. Whatever the fuck. This is the first time that Nintendo has felt like an American company. And
again, we're talking about Nintendo of America, so that does make sense. This isn't NCL firing all their service team. This is an NOA decision. This is a Doug Bowser situation.
The customer service thing, yes.
Yeah.
But the other stuff you were talking about is Nintendo proper.
Yeah, that's there. There is a lot of that NCL stuff happening, but
yeah,
I don't know, man. I just don't know. Yeah. I don't like where we're at right now. They have had opportunities to look at the world around them like they used to and say, you know what we should do. Focus on first and foremost is making enough profit and maintaining goodwill, because maintaining goodwill is how you make long-term profits. And right now it smells a whole lot more like, well, money now is great. Let's do money now.
Do money now.
I don't love that for them, because that's not where they got this huge culture from. This huge fan base didn't come from a bunch of doing a bunch of shitty stuff that was very money grubby, you know? The fact that they weren't being money grubby was one of the things that made them stand out. And I'm just not loving it.
Not to put too fine a point on it, but in the ridiculous tribalistic console war, they're gonna lose that fight. Just by the very nature of the fact that the Switch 2, while a very good system, is not as powerful as the current stuff. And if they're going to be chasing these things and trying to push these things, like, look, when I say they're going to lose, they still have Pokemon. They're going to be okay.
They're selling Switch 2s like crazy. They're still not. That's the thing that I think is kind of bothering me. They're not fighting that fight. They're pricing that fight, but they're still not fighting it. They're
not going to win it. I just don't see how they do. I don't see how when the next generation of consoles comes around and all of that shit, the hardcores are going to buy it, the casuals, whatever. I just don't see how they win that fight when you look at the numbers that are being sold on things like Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto 6 when that comes out and those sorts of things versus the next Yoshi game. That's just not a fight you're winning. And you don't have to win that fight because you shouldn't be in that fight. That's not where Nintendo should be, in my opinion, right? And that's kind of what we talked about with the Switch originally coming out of, like, you're pricing yourself as direct competition to a system that's going to have Grand Theft Auto 6 on it.
Like I said before, they're pricing me out of this hobby.
Yeah.
I'm a grown adult. I live in a household where me and my wife have full-time jobs and side hustles, and we still kind of can't afford to pay all the bills. So, as video games become more and more expensive, I should be making a wish list of all that shit I saw on the Nintendo Direct, but I'm not, because I can't afford it. I have been priced out of this hobby. I can't afford to keep it. Donkey Kong Bonanza with that DLC is freaking $90.
Yeah.
No can do, sir. No can do. Sorry, boss. Nope. I gotta punch out.
Not gonna do. Yeah. And yet, Silksong was $20. I know that's not apples to wrenches, a lot of that comparison, but fact remains that's a lot of game for $20, and it's really good. Anyway, let's finish this up. so we can take our last break and get to the checkpoint. Push Square reports Mega Man and Knights to join the roster of Sonic Racing Crossworlds on PS5 and PS4. I'm pretty fucking excited about this.
Yeah.
I really like the Sonic Racing games. I think they have been super fun. We know that we're getting Minecraft, which I don't care about. SpongeBob, I don't care about. But Pac-Man, Mega Man, Ninja Turtles, Avatar, Knights, okay.
That's pretty wacky.
Yeah, I'm into that. Like, you had my curiosity, and now you have my attention, or however the fuck that goes. Sega also did, according to Time Extension and lots of other places, I just thought this was awesome. I didn't put this on my list because I knew you would. Sega takes aim at Mario Kart by recreating the infamous Genesis blast processing commercial from the 90s for this new Sonic game. If you have not seen this commercial, it's awesome.
Yeah, obviously they're being a lot nicer about it. Since,
sure,
they do have to sell on Nintendo's platform now. But still, that's cool.
It's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It's very fun. It's pretty great. I like it. And then our last story, going back to shitting all over Nintendo. Nintendo should have never received controversial summon character and let it fight Pokemon patent IP lawyers say. Yeah, I mean, we really dove into this last week, but as it was the patent filed in 2023 says there must be a PC, console, other computing device, game is stored on a drive, or similar storage medium. So, okay. You can move a character in a virtual space. So, everything. You must be able to summon a character. They call it a sub-character, by which they mean it's not the player character. For example, a little monster such as a Pokemon. Logic branches out. I think you mentioned this last week. 4 or 5 being mutually exclusive scenarios. Yeah. You did read all this last week. So, yeah, it giving them this patent is crazy. And I doubt it's a thing that would hold up, if it ever really got challenged. But just the fact that they went for it, it feels shitty.
Quite.
It just, it really feels really shitty. Florian Mueller took to social media, an IP expert, to say Nintendo should have never received the summon character let it fight patent in the first place, while video game patent lawyer Kirk Sigmund told PC Gamer these claims were in no way allowable. These types of patents are too often used in bad faith. And that's the thing, right? You want to sit here and be okay, they have the patent, but they wouldn't. But corporations are shit. They're bad things run by generally bad people, And to be yeah, but not Nintendo. Yes, Nintendo too. It's just it just is not a great precedent to set, which is kind of a bummer.
Quite.
But that's going to do it for week-old news.
Thank you very much, Dan.
Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Dan. That was Dan, everybody. And with that, we're going to take ourselves another quick break. When we come back, we're going to check in with the checkpoint and then go to hell in bed. You're listening to the Stone Age Gamer podcast from geekade.com. Stick around.
We are Safe at Home, the leading dog rescue in the heart of New Jersey. Are you searching for a loyal companion, a dog that will bring love and joy to your home? Look no further than Safe at Home. At Safe at Home, we believe in giving every dog a second chance. We rescue, rehabilitate, and find loving forever homes for dogs in need, right here in the Garden State. Our dogs are ready to make a lasting impact on your life. Each one has a unique story, a wagging tail, and an incredible capacity for love. When you adopt from Safe at Home, you're not just gaining a pet, you're becoming a part of our family. Our dedicated team ensures a seamless adoption process, providing ongoing support and guidance. With New Jersey's beautiful parks, beaches, and trails, you and your new furry friend will have endless opportunities for adventures and cherished memories. Safe at Home relies on the support of compassionate individuals like you. Your donations and volunteer work enable us to continue saving lives and finding forever homes for these amazing dogs. Join us in creating a safer, happier community for dogs in New Jersey. Together we can make a difference and give every dog the chance to feel safe at home. Visit our website or call us now to learn about how you can be a part of the Safe at Home mission. Safe at Home, because every dog deserves to be loved and protected. www.safeathomerescue.org.
Do you miss the days when you'd get a fresh issue of Nintendo Power in the mail every month? It was stacked with reviews, previews, and all manner of cool new stuff about the world of Nintendo, and it even came with a free poster. Well, you don't have to miss those days anymore because Nintendo Force is here. Functioning as a spiritual successor to Nintendo's classic magazine, Nintendo Force is staffed with top-notch writing talent, and me for some reason, to deliver fresh new reviews, previews, and more right to your door every other month. And yes, posters are still included, except ours are double-sided. So if you want the thrill of learning all about the world of Nintendo in physical format, head on over to NintendoForceMagazine.com and learn all about it. Nintendo Force Magazine, the force of Nintendo fans. Hi everyone, Kris here. Podcast listening is free, but podcast creation is not. That's why the Geekade Patreon exists. In an effort to help us pay the bills, we've got a Patreon page set up where you can gain access to our monthly podcast topic schedule, get early access to many of our shows, and more. If you'd like to help support Geekade and keep these shows running week after week, head over to the Geekade Patreon page, linked in the show notes of this very podcast. All right, everybody, we are back and better than ever, and it is time to check in with the Checkpoint.
Checkpoint!
This is where Dan and I will talk about what's been going on in our lives, what we've been up to, and, well, Dan, why don't you go first this time? What have you been up to?
Oh, not too much this week. I've been very tired this week. It's been very hot at my job this week.
Today in particular has been fucking summer, and I am not okay with it.
No, I'm not.
85 degrees today. Unacceptable.
Yeah, just completely and totally unacceptable. There's no need for it. As we discussed earlier, false fall and second summer are my least two favorite seasons in New Jersey.
False fall just gets my hopes up. And fall summer is like when we just started fall. I was in a hoodie and shorts, and now I'm sweating my balls off again. Stop it.
Yeah. And today, as I was driving home through the city, the temperature in my car read 92. The high, according to my iPhone, it was 87 today, which sucks. And tomorrow it's going down to 78, and then Sunday 74. Like, that's where we're supposed to be now.
Yeah, the highs should be in the low 70s.
Yeah. But here in New Jersey, we have 6 seasons. We have spring, summer, fall, or false fall, second summer, fall, then winter. And winter sometimes goes back into summer again. Sometimes, like every now and again, it's like, oh, here's third summer for like 2 days. And then it's like, oh no, never mind, we're going to snow. We forgot. Sorry, we were drunk. Like, fuck, it's so fucking weird. But it's just been so hot at the building I work in. that I've been exhausted when I get home, and I've been trying to focus on. This week, the focus was finishing Metal Gear Solid Delta, which I did, and it's so good. It's such a good remake. It's such a smart remake. They did. And what's kind of fun about it, or funny about it, is that for all the hand wringing that the digital ink that was spilled of, oh, they're touching Kojima's masterpiece and nobody should be able to update Kojima games without Kojima being involved. Like, it's such a safe. It's exactly what, if I was like, Chris, here's a budget, go remake Metal Gear Solid. This is exactly what you would do. You would update the camera angle so it made a little bit more sense in modern times. You would make it so that when you were crouched, you could walk forward instead of immediately entering a crawl every single time. Like, they fixed that. And you would make all the buttons make more sense with the way that we play games in America. For the most part, like the way most of Sony's other games are. The X button is now the action button, not the circle button. Like, that's what they did to fix it. It's the same dialogue. The graphics are gorgeous. The story is, because they didn't change it, remains as fucking nuts as ever. It's fucking awesome. It is by far my favorite of the Metal Gear Solid series. This did not lessen that in any way whatsoever. I think this game is just fucking great. I put on the full Cayman suit for a large part of it, where you have you have an alligator bodysuit and a cayman head. But, like, you can just crawl around as Snake, so, like, you're a fucking Cayman alligator with an M16. It's fucking outstanding. There's nothing wrong with that. So I did that for a large portion of the game, just because it was fucking fun. I'm like, nothing to see here, just a regular crocodile. just a regular gator sneaking through this Russian nuclear facility for no reason. The final fight with Volgin is still super fucking cool. It's really fun doing these fights now with the different camera angle. That's been really fun and interesting. The storyline with Ocelot is fucking great. The final fight in the Field of White Flowers with the boss remains, in my opinion, one of just the all-time great Metal Gear moments. The fucking theme song starts playing as you're in the middle of the fight, and you get this, like, really nice version of the song. It's just, what a fucking good game, man. What a good fucking crazy ass game that is. Absolutely adore it.
I wish I could have gotten into it, the original MGS3, but it didn't.
I get that.
Didn't grab me. I should get back to it one of these days. I did buy that collection on the Switch, and I played through 1 and some of 2, and unfortunately other things came up. But I really should play through Metal Gear Solid 3 one of these days. It's pretty high on my list.
I really do think it is the best of the series. I do think I am now going to play through them in order, since this is obviously the first in the storyline. So I think next up would be 5. So I might jump into that at some point, but it's certainly not going to be anytime soon, as I still have Death Stranding to finish and a couple more levels and things to do in Tony Hawk. Silksong, Ghost of Yotei comes out, Metroid Prime 4. Like, there has been such a fucking onslaught of games. I haven't even opened, and I know you're going to talk about it, but I bought Ninja Gaiden Ragebound last week. It is still wrapped. I haven't even opened it yet, because I was like, fuck, I don't want to start Ragebound while also trying to keep the control scheme for Silksong, while also trying to keep the control scheme for Death Stranding and fucking Metal Gear Solid. Like, I don't want to keep all of that in my head at the moment. So I'm not going to. I'm going to wait on that. But yeah, anybody on the fence about Metal Gear Solid Delta, you were worried about it, don't be. It's fucking awesome. Maybe one day I will go back and do all the collectible stuff. I obviously, if you've listened to this podcast long enough, you know that I am not an achievement chaser. Like, that's not generally a thing that I do when I play through games, but I just love this game so much that I might go back and try to find all the collectible shit and do the Snake versus Monkey and all of that stuff, because there is a lot of game here, and it's just really fucking enjoyable. The rest of the time was spent on Silksong this week, of really trying to put some time into Silksong. And I was debating last week, right? We had the discussion, am I going to play this with mods at all? And I decided, fuck it, I don't have it to impress anybody. Yes, I am. So I have 3 mods that I am playing with. I always have Compass on, because the Compass is just, fuck that. I'm not equipping a slot to that. That's fucking stupid. I still think it's stupid. I will always rail against that decision. I think it's a fucking shitty decision. Compass is always on. Auto mapping is on, so that when you go to an area, like almost literally every fucking game on the planet, when you go to the area, the map is automatically added to your map, not just when you sit down on a bench. And I have the show damage health bar on enemies, because I like to know how much health they have left. And adding those things, like those little quality of life adjustments for me, has made traveling the world just a little bit more enjoyable, because I don't have as much time as I did when I played Hollow Knight. I don't currently have the time to sit down and memorize this world the way that I did with Hollow Knight. I wish I did. I do, because it is gorgeous. It is so fun. The fight right after you get the spoilers for anybody who hasn't played, but when you get the sort of double jump ability, the cloak that lets you float, have you gotten that yet?
No.
I assume you have, right?
No, I have
Okay,
not.
you haven't gotten that yet. Oh, okay. I apologize.
I went to where you are way too early.
You should definitely not be there then. If you don't even have that yet.
I left.
Okay, good.
When I found out that there is nothing to gain from being there at all, I was like, oh, so this is just there to be mean. Okay, I'm out of here. There's no story advancement. There's no fun new item. It's just like, this is just a chunk of the game that's here to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't need that in my life.
Up.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, no, you don't.
So I would like to go
that is where
focus on the other things that matter.
Yeah. You should definitely start heading down to the bottom of the deep docks, I think, is where you get the cloak that lets you float, because there is a boss fight immediately after that so far has been my favorite boss fight in the game. The boss is called the Fourth Chorus. I thought it was just so fun, and it was such a gorgeous enemy, and the music in that game, that game just fucking rules. It's so good. It's so good. And it's not all that different from Hollow Knight, which is kind of what I expected and kind of what I wanted.
It started life as DLC. It's more
right,
Hollow
like
Knight.
It just is, yeah. And that's what I wanted. You know, it's iterative, and Hornet is certainly much different from the Knight. She controls much differently. The downward, the diagonal slash is definitely a different way to pogo around and bounce around the fights, but I've gotten really comfortable with it. The one thing that I don't love that I'm looking at potentially remapping on my because I'm playing it with the 8-Bit Pro 2, and that has 2 little back buttons down on the like the hand grips. There's little back buttons, so I might map the projectile attack to one of those, because there are times where I go to throw the projectile, but because I'm bouncing around and doing too many different things, I will instead do the spear thing and waste my silk so that I can't heal, and then I end up dying. So it got to the point where, because I don't ever use that spear ability, so I just unequipped it. That's just not the way that I play through the game. I am sure that there are people that live and die by that spear. I quite like the projectiles and the, pogoing, and then, throwing a couple of the knives and then bouncing around and doing the thing and then dashing and healing. And I love that part of it. So I just fucking got rid of that thing. But I think I might map that to the back button, and I think that will just make the game that much more enjoyable. Because I got to tell you, like, playing it on the Steam Deck, it plays great. I love playing it on there. I really, really am having a good time playing it with this 8-Bit Pro 2 that I got from our site. Like, we still have the black ones in stock. It is a great controller. It doesn't come with because they just put out the 8-Bit Pro 3, and it comes with a dock and all of those things, like the 8-Bit Do Ultimates. I really don't find any of that necessary. I find this controller in the Super Nintendo shape with the extended hand grips on it to be fucking perfect for Silksong, and really perfect for what I do with a lot of PC gaming with like emulators and whatnot. I am absolutely in love with this controller. I just think it's fucking great. But that has really been the bulk of the week as far as gaming is concerned, was finishing Delta and then really putting some more progress into Silksong. I think I'm like 6 hours in now. I got up to this area called Greymoor that was really pretty and really dark and really weird looking. Like I say pretty, like pretty the way that some of the things in Hollow Knight are, like this kind of weird gothic-y kind of thing. But just absolutely fucking gorgeous game. And then what else did we do this week? Oh, we watched Submission Hill this week with the children, because for something came up. I forget who said. I think Tiff was walking around just going bling blong, like she was just fucking frustrated at something. And the kids were like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, it's Mission Hill. It's this really good." Fuck, I haven't shown you guys Mission Hill. Well, we definitely have to fix that. And we watched the first couple of episodes or whatever. And man, I got to tell you, that fucking show holds up. It was kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit back in the day, and a little bit, more progressive than some of the other things were on TV, but it holds up, man. The animation is great, the voice acting's great, the fucking from jump, like the very first episode of that show is outstanding with the fucking Grubermeister. Like, it's, oh man, if anybody within the sounds of our voices has not watched Mission Hill, I implore you to do so. It is a brilliant, wonderful animated series. And the kids really, really enjoyed it. They were like, this is fucking rad. This is a really good show. It's like, yes, thank you. Dad only watches good shit. I'm not here to steer you wrong, kids.
It was part of, when everybody was launching animated series, and it was what originally aired on, I think, the WB. And it got the shit canceled out of it, super fast. Yeah. But then it found a second life on Adult Swim, which...
Yeah. Which is, it's such an Adult Swim kind of show.
Yeah. Not quite as irreverent as like Aqua Teen, but it's like, it fits right in that kind of home movies-esque situation. It didn't get new episodes on there. Like, it didn't go that far, but it fit there.
And what's there is wonderful. I think it's absolutely one of my favorites from that era. Like you said, certainly not the same style of irreverent Harvey Birdman, Aqua Teen Hunger Force style comedy. Like, definitely not that kind of shit, but just a solid, well-made animated series. It's fucking rad, dude. I really like it.
Bill Oakley, Josh Weinstein, so...
Yep.
What's that?
Yep. I was really happy that the kids liked it, too, because I wasn't sure, you know? It's like, I'm not sure how this is going to hold up and if they're going to dig it, but they really did, you know?
Glad to hear it.
It's good stuff.
That was good stuff.
Yeah. So that's the week that was.
Nice. Let's see here. Probably the big thing that has been on my mind this week, although I'm much more calm. I think I've figured it out now. So Tuesday, Hopper was just in a really good mood. So much so that he had like the most insane bout of indoor zoomies that he had ever had. Like, he was spinning around as fast as he could. He was just like having a good time.
That's awesome.
He was a happy dude.
Love that.
But then around lunchtime, I went upstairs to have lunch, and he didn't come up with me. And I heard him crying. I was like, buddy, I'm up here, dude.
Oh, no.
And I came downstairs, and then he came upstairs, and his tail was down. I was like, oh, well, his tail's never down. What's wrong with you, fella? So I thought maybe there was something wrong with his tummy, and he was having tummy troubles. We were having a lot of rain this week, and he doesn't like to go outside and poop during the rain. So, like, maybe something happened there. I don't know. So I was pretty worried about him. And then Tuesday night, he couldn't get comfortable. Like, every time he would try to lay down, he just couldn't get comfortable. And he was up all night, just like shifting around and being pretty miserable. And his tail has been down ever since. But I think what happened is there's nothing wrong with his stomach, because he is eating and pooping like a champ. There's no problems there. He is a very regular dog. And I thought maybe like there was something wrong with his mood, and I'm still a little scared that he's like decided to try to emulate Naga, who is always sad and has her tail tucked between her legs. Yeah. But he's still trying to chase after other dogs when we're out walking. He's been playing for the last couple of days. You know, he'll still grab toys and shake them about and jump up and down and try to start shit with Naga. Like, he's acting like himself, but his tail is down. I think what happened was during his insane zoomies rage, he sprained his tail.
Oh yeah, that happens.
That
definitely
must have
happens.
Sat on it or whacked it into something, because like he tries to wag it and it doesn't quite work out for him. Like, it's better today than it's been for a couple of days. But like, you know, this morning he was trying to chase a deer in the woods when we were out for a walk, and like his tail was up for a little while, but you can see this like one little bend in it. Like, he's struggling to keep it up. And then it's just like, you know, dangling back down. Like, I think he hurt himself. Like,
he might have. That is a thing. Like, dogs can dislocate their tails.
Yeah, it's definitely getting better. Like, he's definitely better now than he has been. It's been getting a little better every day. So I'm having like taken him to the vet yet. I'm going to give it a little bit more time before I try to find $500-600 to go see a vet. But
yeah, I know.
Because you know what I don't have is $500 or $600 to take the dog to the vet. But that's the bare minimum of what it costs to take him to the vet. So, fuck. So I'm just hoping he gets better on his own, because that's where we are as a people. But yeah, other than the tail, that's where he is. But speaking of taking care of things, I made a step yesterday morning to attempt to actually find myself a therapist. I want to.
That's outstanding.
I want to talk to somebody, and I've been wanting to do it for a while, but there's been lots of barriers, and I finally was just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna reach out to these folks that were recommended, and I did, and one of them got back to me super quick, and now I have to like give them my insurance information and figure out how much the copay is going to be and whether or not I can actually afford to have therapy and blah blah blah. Right. But I'm going to get myself into therapy. That's the plan. And try to see somebody once a month, just to, you know, I've been putting all this effort into my physical self,
right,
and that's been going well. But it's been knocking loose a whole bunch of other shit, I think. So I'm,
You're like, oh, I hear these other problems. Fuck. God damn it.
It's been just spending a lot of time alone with my thoughts, and it's I should spend time with somebody else.
It gets scary in there sometimes.
Yeah.
It gets.
There's a lot of life going on.
There is a lot of fucking life going on, man. This shit is currently really, really fucking hard. It's really fucking hard.
And while Dan and I do talk about just about everything,
sure,
like we do talk about a lot of stuff off the air too. Before we start the show, we're pretty open on the show, but we still have our we still have our secrets.
That's right. Yeah, this is a very secrets. Yeah,
keep your secrets. But yeah, it's I was just proud of myself. Gonna get myself some therapy.
Like, and there's a reason. There's a reason that this is somebody's job, right? Like, there's a reason that it's not just a like, oh, fucking, like, just talk to your friends about it, or just like, be a man, fucking keep it inside and turn it into a tumor. Like, there's a reason that these people have a job. I tried to. It's a weird. Maybe this is a weird comparison, but I tried to explain it to the kids and to Tiff, because I am always the one. Tiff will not go into the store. She would not go into the store back in the day to buy tampons. Like, I always bought the tampons, and when the kids need them now, they need pads or whatever, I'm the one who goes into the store and buys them, because I have always been of the idea of, like, look, they sell in the store because people need them.
I don't understand that at all. It's like toilet paper.
Buy them. I know, it's so weird, but people, like, I used to go buy condoms for people, like, back in the day when they were too embarrassed, like, I want to fuck, but I don't want to go buy the condoms. I'm like, why? Why are you being fucking weird about it? Don't be weird. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It is a weird thing.
Yeah. All that to say, you should be proud of yourself, because there is a reason that this exists. There's nothing. See, I can't fucking talk. There's nothing to be embarrassed about, to feel a certain type of way about. There just isn't.
Mental health is just as important as physical health. And you should take it as seriously.
Healthcare. Yes, it's just healthcare.
Well, I tuned into the Phillies game just to watch the whoever the fuck they're, the Arizona Diamondbacks knock a home run in the first inning. Good job. Anyways, so as you alluded to, yes, I stopped playing Silksong, and just because Ninja Gaiden happened, and
right.
The original Ninja Gaiden trilogy is just some of my very favorite stuff ever. Well, the first two. I don't like 3. But I was really excited really, really excited for Ragebound. And so far, it has not let me down. It is fucking spectacular. I'm not sure it's Ninja Gaiden. Which, again, I can't say that that's terribly surprising. Like, obviously, right. It's got some aspects of Ninja Gaiden, but there are a couple of very intrinsic changes to the original formula. Like, you continue moving while you attack. Like, which has never been a thing in Ninja Gaiden. Your standard attack is, you stand still and swipe your sword. So the fact that you can keep running while attacking, it's different. I don't hate it, but it is a very different thing. But I think what really sets Ragebound apart from the other Ninja Gaiden games is that there isn't the ninja arts and the constant of like the little icons or orbs or little birds or whatever it is in the background that you're constantly hitting. That's just not a part of the game anymore. there are sections that have something similar in them, like you bind with the girl character, and she does these certain areas that are timed, and you have to hit these certain icons to get more time. There are the icons that show up that can give you health, but it's a very infrequent part of the stages, whereas in the original trilogy, that was a constant part of the of the gameplay. So,
right, Ninpo, is that what they called it?
I don't know if they actually called it that in the original games. They could have. Ninja Arts.
I don't remember.
But, like, you know, there is, like, the windmill star, the fire wheel. Like, that stuff's just not a part of the game. I mean, I assume so. I'm several hours into it. If they're going to add it, it would be pretty weird to show up this late in the game. Now, there's other stuff that kind of sort of takes its place, and there's a lot of, like, the soul of it is kind of sort of still there. Like, there's little pieces of the music from the original games. It's stage based. They didn't try to go all Metroidvania with it. There are hidden rooms, which has never really been a thing in Ninja Gaiden. There's like a little bit of exploratory stuff, but again, you know, it's been a very long time, and you could look at this as an evolution of what came before it. So I'm not mad at it for taking a slightly different direction, but there is a degree of it that doesn't quite feel like Ninja Gaiden. But then again, this is a spin-off. This isn't Ninja Gaiden 4. This is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. This is an actual side story. This doesn't star Ryu. This stars a different character, like while Ryu's off in New York with Ninja Gaiden 1 happening. A lot of the enemies are the same enemies from Ninja Gaiden 1, so there does appear to be some sort of story-related connection to these demons and the demons that are in Ninja Gaiden. So that's pretty cool, and it's really cool seeing them, like, drawn up in the blasphemous style. They're really good looking. It's a very, very good looking game, and it is super smooth. It feels really good to play. I am having an absolute blast. It does take... It takes a lot from... It feels kind of like a cross between the 2D and 3D Ninja Gaidens, now that I really think about it, because the... like, the bosses are just hard as hell. Like, they are really, 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 really difficult. Most of them have taken me multiple tries to get through. But not in an angry, frustrating way, because there's always unlike a certain other game, there are always checkpoints right next to the bosses. Like, you get a checkpoint and the music stops, and it's like, alright, I'm about to face a boss. And then you get there and you're like, alright, I'm gonna lose the first time, but I'm gonna learn. Like, the whole point is, like, I'm just gonna go in here and I'm gonna see what this thing can do and see how far I can get. And then you're just like, okay, I see what's going. But it also has that thing that the 3D Ninja Gaiden games have, where it doesn't feel cheap like the 2D ones did, right? The 2D Ninja Gaiden games are so full of cheap deaths. They're hilarious.
Very much.
just so many times you'd be like, and it's never during bosses. The bosses are usually just like, how fast can you hit them? This is just an onslaught of fuck you and do your best. But the stages, you'll just be like, all right, now there's a bat out of nowhere, and it's going to knock you in a hole, and you're dead. Ha ha. This one, like, when you're fighting these bosses, and you're trying to go through this, and to an extent during the stages, I haven't really done much dying in the stages. I don't think I've died at all during the stages. But fighting the bosses, whenever I die, I'm like, I see what I did wrong. It's always, nope, I see what I did wrong. I see where I messed up. And it was the same thing with the 3D Ninja Gaiden games, which I love so much about them, is that when you're playing those, you even if you're totally overwhelmed and there's, like, shit everywhere, it's just like, I see what I did wrong. I don't know how I'm supposed to do that, but I see exactly where that came from.
I see what I fucked up.
I see what I fucked up. I figured it out. I got it. It's great. It's really great. I don't want to put it down. It's not quite as addictive as DK Bonanza was. Like, Bonanza just had that, you stop playing and then it's just like, I really need to play. Let me just see what's around this corner, and then you lose another, like, hour of your life. Whereas this one, it's real close. It's real close, but It doesn't quite have its teeth into me to that extent. The writing's very good. Like the plot itself is kind of interesting. It's not as melodramatic as the original NES games. It's actually got a little bit more of a sort of a humorous bite to it from time to time, because the ninja that the girl ninja from the rival clan that you've merged with, like the two of you don't get along great. It's because you're rival clans and you have very opposing ideals, but since like she merges with you, you both of you kind of understand each other better and also pick up a little bit of your emotions. So there's a little bit of bickering, and some just kind of funny and endearing moments between the two of them. Like, the guy ninja that you're playing as, he really likes pirates, and then you get to a place where you're fighting ghost pirates, and he's kind of like holding back his excitement in the cutscenes, and she's kind of teasing him for it. She's like, "You really like pirates, don't you?" He's like, "Look, I really like pirates. I get it, but we're here to do a thing. Let's just do the thing." But this is also really cool. It's great.
I love that.
It's really great. It does feel decidedly un-Ninja Gaiden in certain ways, but it's also
right.
Oh, this could be what Ninja Gaiden got to had they continued to make these games. So that's kind of where
makes sense.
That's kind of where I'm less upset about it, because there is a huge gap between this and Ninja Gaiden 3, but there's also like a piece of it that so Ninja Gaiden 3 technically introduced grabbing onto ledges from above, right? You could argue that Ninja Gaiden Shadow introduced that, because Ninja Gaiden Shadow was not really a Ninja Gaiden game. It was Shadow of the Ninja that was rebranded as Ninja Gaiden in North America, but it does technically fit in the Ninja Gaiden pantheon now as a game that is part of the series, because they did that in North America the same way Blaster Master Boy is a Blaster Master game, even though it's technically a spin-off of Bomberman. Wouldn't
whatchamacallit, the Master System one technically be the one that introduced it? That was before that,
but it's also not part of the same continuity. Like, the Ninja Gaiden Master System doesn't actually have anything to do with the Ninja Gaiden trilogy, and it has nothing to do with Ragebound. Like, it's a totally different story. I don't even think it's the same character. Like, yes, it's Ryu, but it's not that Ryu. So as far as like introducing that mechanic, sure, but I don't think that really factors into it, right? Ninja Gaiden 3, so in Ninja Gaiden 1 you could latch onto walls, but you couldn't move unless there was a ladder. Ninja Gaiden 2, you could latch onto walls, but you could also now move, and there are new weapons. In the Ninja Gaiden 3, they added the extra sword power-up you can get to make your regular sword more powerful, but as far as maneuverability goes, being able to latch onto a ledge above you and then climb up on top of it, that was the new kind of feature they added there. So if you think following that evolution between those three games, and then you would have continued that over the generations in the 2D games, it would not surprise me to see that we would have actually gotten where we are, right? Being able to continue moving while you're attacking, and the lack of the ninja arts is kind of odd, like the fire wheel and stuff, but it doesn't. I don't know if I'm actually articulating myself.
It doesn't ruin the experience.
It doesn't ruin the experience. It is a fantastic game. I have some questions as to is it actually a Ninja Gaiden game, and does that even really matter? Because it's super freaking fun. I'm loving it. I'm so happy to be playing it.
That's really all that matters at the end of the day. Yeah. And like there is like, it is easy enough to hand wave it away of like Ryu does the fucking ninja arts. This dude, I forget what his name is.
I forget what his name is too.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head. He doesn't do them. He does this other shit. Okay. That's enough for me.
Yeah, it's good enough. Makes sense.
Like, I'm fine with that. Yeah, I am very, very excited to get to it. I'm very excited to get Shinobi and also play that, because yours came in, right?
Oh yeah, I've had Shinobi for a minute, and I started playing. No, I didn't actually start playing it proper I played that little bit of the demo and was like, all right, this is fucking great. But that's pretty different from Ninja Gaiden as well, and I'm really excited to play that. And that's going to be next. Well, I don't know if that's going to be next. I don't know if I'm going back to Silksong or not.
Can I just go on to Limited Run and get that still? I think it was Limited Run, right?
It was Limited Run, but I feel like it was also getting a regular retail release, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember. I'll find it.
Yeah, you'll get one.
I mean, I can get the Nickelodeon Splat Pack.
You sure can.
That's the new Limited Run.
Even bad games deserve to be preserved.
I mean, sure.
I don't know. I didn't play much of those games. I still haven't cashed in my Bubsy review code yet because I don't know. I haven't gotten that assignment yet. We're in a weird place with Nintendo Force right now, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't at least a little bit frustrated with what's going on. But I understand it. Lucas is having fun with this, and that's kind of that's kind of important. So we're reviewing UFO 50 in this issue,
right?
And Lucas, our editor-in-chief, has made the decision that we are going to not just review UFO 50, we're going to review all 50 games in UFO 50. We're dedicating 14 pages to UFO 50, which is insane.
I find that to be a mistake. That is my opinion.
I voiced my concerns. I was like, look, I am all aboard the crazy train. I love crazy, right? This is a ridiculous idea, and if we're having a good time with it, we're having a good time with it. And I'm on board. Okay, I'm in. I volunteer to be a part of this. However, I would be remiss if I didn't say, is this what's best for our readers? Because if you're not interested in UFO 50, and you are interested in the metric shit ton of other games that are out now, coming out now, that still need to be reviewed, that could be previewed, all kinds of other stuff, is dedicating 14 pages to this one indie game the best use of our time? And to which Lucas basically responded like, look, we've been doing this for a long time. I think this is really fun, and just give me this one. And we were all just like, sure, man, let's review this game. Let's go to town. So, we're basically breaking it down as a draft. We've got this UFO 50 draft where we're all picking games in order. We're all going to get around 5. We're all going to get about 5 games. Some of us are going to get 6. And that seems to be the bulk of where the assignments are being doled out right now. But it's been a couple of days because there's 9 of us, and we're not all perpetually online, so it's taking
sure,
there's few hours between one person making a pick and the next person making a pick, and I don't have any of my other assignments yet. Am I going to get to? Are we going to review Ninja Gaiden and Shinobi? I think that's a pretty freaking important thing to review. I think those two games, not just being on the same platform, but are being marketed together. That's astronomical, historically speaking. Those were two rival games back in the old days. That's pretty huge. And the fact that they both came out around the same time in kind of a friendly fire sort of way is really cool. And we didn't review them in the last issue. I think it would be a huge mistake not to review them in this issue, but I haven't heard anything about it. We had me and this other guy were talking about that Bubsy collection, right? I think that would be an interesting thing to review. I was able to get a review code from my contact at Atari, and neither of us have been assigned it yet. Obviously, if he decides to assign the review to the other guy, I will give him the review code, because the review code was for Nintendo Force. But it's just sitting there, and the guy who gave it to me was like, let me know if this works, because the last time he gave me a review code for Breakout, it didn't work properly, and he had to go check and get another one. That was a fucking week ago. And I keep poking him are we going to review this in this issue or no? Like, what are we doing?
Like,
let me know, please.
Yeah.
You know, I really wanted to review Adventure of Samsara, but that hasn't come up in conversation at all. I really want to know what we're doing besides UFO 50, which isn't even the magazine's cover story. Like, I did get assigned the preview for the Yoshi game, which is going to be interesting. I'm volunteering for as much writing work as I can get this time around because I really need the money. But also, there's a lot of stuff that I'm very interested in writing about. But I would like to know how much more of this stuff I'm actually going to... Because this stuff takes time. Obviously, I'm going to need to play through these UFO 50 games. I'm going to need to play through Ninja Gaiden. Am I going to review the Kirby DLC? Am I going to review Shinobi and Ninja Gaiden? I don't know what I'm doing. So, like, I kind of need to know, like, all right, where am I putting my focus on? Because eventually, I'm going to be up against a deadline, so I want to make sure I have my shit in order.
Well, you want to give each thing the proper attention. Like,
exactly.
You're trying to be professional.
I am trying to be professional. And again, I don't want to I'm not like super bitching about it. Like, Lucas is fantastic. He makes a hell of a magazine. And I love how passionate he is about reviewing all 50 games. Like, we're giving each one of these things a frickin' score, which is madness. It's in a physical print magazine, 14 pages to a single game is absolute madness. But he's not wrong that it's going to be an interesting piece of the magazine, because UFO 50 is a real interesting game.
He's not wrong, but having played through all of those... so not played through all of them to completion by any stretch of the imagination, but having played through all of those, they don't all need space. Some of them just are okay.
Yeah, I mean, so I started with I started playing Vanger. It's the sort of Metroidvania type game where you double tap the jump button to reverse gravity. And it is...
I like that one quite a bit.
It is okay so far. You know, it's got a slightly frustrating map, so it's like, all right, it's like I'm playing Silksong again, but all right, whatever. And, you know, it's pretty slow moving. It's all right. You know, it doesn't...
I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
I like it so far. That's about it. That's about all I've done so far. The games that I've gotten assigned to myself are... And thank you to, I think it was Rumblemans who suggested these.
Yes.
In the... I've secured Seaside Drive, Vanger, Overbold, and all the other suggestions were taken. So I wound up volunteering for Block Koala. And my fifth pick, and I guess you can tell me for sure if this is a bad idea, I was going to pick Hotfoot. I think that was a multiplayer one, and I was going to see if I can have some friends over to try it out that way.
That one I think was pretty fun. If no one has picked Bushido Ball,
that's taken.
I would recommend... Okay, that one I think, like, of the... Oh my god! I knocked out my headphones, so I'm just going to keep talking like that didn't even happen, and I didn't just yell, oh my god, like something crazy bad happened. Out of all the, like, arcade-style sport-type games, Bushido Ball, like, was, I think, by far my favorite. I like that one a lot. Oh god, I'm trying to think of the other ones that I really liked. I have to go back and look at, like, fucking screenshots of them.
There's Golfaria. There's an adventure game with golf-based lore. I don't know how I feel about that. The Big Bell Race. Or Tank.
I liked Paint Chase. That was pretty cool, but that's pretty basic.
What's Paint Chase? Okay. Has that one been taken?
Paint Chase is like you're racing around and you're like painting the track as you're racing. I know
Chase has been taken.
Rumbleman said, I think Rumbleman said Tactics was bad. I kind of enjoyed it. Tactics, I think.
He told me to avoid combatants, caramel, and Star Wespier.
Combatants, that's the one he said to avoid. I liked the tactics. I thought that was pretty cool. Kick Club, that one was fine. I'm looking through a list right now.
That's been taken.
Mooncat was cool, I think.
What was Mooncat? Doesn't matter, it's taken.
Okay. Yeah, Bushido Ball, I fucking loved. Block Koala it's fine. Block Koala is fine. I think you'll like that one quite a bit. I'm looking at Golfarian now. Yeah, that was fine. It's fine. Warp Tank was pretty cool.
Barbuta. Isn't Barbuta like supposed to be like the main basic one?
Maybe. Did anybody take Waldorf's Journey?
Let me check.
Your platforming seal?
Waldorf. No, Waldorf's Journey is not taken.
That one you might enjoy. That one's pretty cool. So that it's you jump from platform to platform. You're like this big walrus, and you kind of jump from place to place to make your way through the level. But you have to hold the direction that you're going to jump and charge your jump meter. And once you let it go, you can't control once you're in the air. So you have to kind of really plot your jumps throughout the thing. And there is a way, there's a fish meter, I think. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be a fish that you can help control it a little bit. It's pretty cool. I think that one was kind of neat. Porgy was kind of cool. You're the little fish dude. Not great. Caramel is good, but it's like a shmup, right? Yeah. That one was pretty cool, but hard.
Looks
Hot
like
Foot,
Waldorf's.
I just looked at. Yeah.
Yeah, this
Hot Foot
Waldorf's
really
Journey
doesn't-
looks bizarre.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to sit here and go through the rest of these. But yeah, there's some good stuff. I will keep looking, but I don't need to take up podcast time with it.
Yeah. I think I might volunteer for this Waldorf's Journey instead of the multiplayer one.
Yeah. Did somebody took Fistel, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the beat 'em up.
It's
that one
fine.
That one
It's
went
not.
pretty early.
It's not great. It's fine.
Let's see. Where's my list? Do. But yeah, that's all I did. That was it for me. Is the stressing about work and trying to figure out what I'm doing as far I've been getting a little bit of time to play some games, and I was like, all right, well, I'm diving into Ninja Gaiden because I don't want to wait anymore, and I don't think I'm getting the review for Silksong, and even if I did, I'm not the Hollow Knight expert, so...
Right.
But are we reviewing the DK DLC? Are we reviewing the Kirby DLC? I don't know. I really don't know what's on the docket this time around, other than this massive UFO 50 review. I'm trying to see if I can look at all of the assignments and not just my assignments. I don't know that I can do that.
I don't know.
Well,
I don't work for you guys.
Yeah, we use this program called
Not yet, anyway.
We use Basecamp, and it's pretty nice. And you can do all these chats, but I'm looking for. I'm just very curious what all the assignments are. Who got assigned everything? Because I want to know what else is out there. I know he's assigned a couple of other things besides UFO 50, but
right.
I don't know what they are. I don't know how to check for them. But anyway, that's going to wrap up our show because this is boring.
I would make one suggestion before we go, and I'm just curious what other people would think of this. If Lucas is really going this far and you're reviewing every game, I think you should also make up fake reviewers. Like Ninja X or whatever the fuck, like the Game Pro dude, and like I think you should make up like little fake avatars. And just have, like, a bunch of different, like, quote-unquote reviewers in there as well. And just really go fucking nuts with it. I think that would be fun. Anyway.
I'll mention it. I'll bring it up. Do I have two of the same issue?
Jesus
Sorry,
Christ,
my Nintendo powers are kind of freaking me out right now. I'm looking at, so, like, I've got... They make a picture of Mario, but, like, there's something wrong here. Let's see. What am I looking at? 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 98. No, that's just all the issues. Just the Mario picture gets weirdly duplicated. That's so bizarre. Boy, they really F that up. How did I never notice that before? Anyways, that's our show. Join us next time for the SAG Cartoon Express. We'll finally be catching the pilot episode of the non-existent Battletoads cartoon. Yay.
Yeah.
We are on most social media platforms, and if you want to get in touch with us, we aren't very difficult to find. All it takes is a quick look at our show notes, and you'll see links to our social media accounts, as well as all manner of other fun stuff, like a link to our namesakes, StoneAgeGamer.com, and more useful links than you can shake a joystick at. If you'd like to get early access to this show's episodes, as well as a bevy of other shows on the Geekade Podcast Network, check out our Patreon, also linked to in the show notes. It helps this show keep running week after week, and all our patrons are loved and appreciated. This show's theme song, Squared Roots, was written by Banjo Guy Ali. You can learn all about his wonderful music and more by following the link to his YouTube channel, also in the show notes. And finally, as always, we'd like to thank our intrepid editor, Evan, for being alive and making the show listenable for you in the first place.
So worried.
And I would like to thank all you for listening in the first place. That is it on behalf of Dan and myself. Keep playing games.